You know what's funny? You guys know me by now. We just had like the producer just told us everything we needed to know and told me literally everything in excruciating detail. And then he's like, "So now we're gonna do it." And I'm like, "So are we playing the video? We're playing." No. I'm talking. Great. Hi, hello, everyone. Jasper's Game Day. Thank you for tuning in. So, people of the interwebs, I like to think we're friends. We got a little situation here where we are at the bottom of the day and they've already surpassed the goal for the week. So all of this is bonus money, which means we can do some crazy crap. So let's see. I've been told we were over 16-ish thousand right now. I think I didn't get the exact number. No, let me rephrase. I absolutely was told the number. I just don't remember it. So I think we're 16 right now. So a couple things. Rerolls are 100. Which you can give re-rolls. You can give re-rolls to me. You can give re-rolls to the cast. Let's keep things interesting. You guys tell us who you want to have the re-roll, and they will have it. For me, one of them, be nice. Everyone loves re-rolls. If you see one person's got like 6 stacked up that they're hoarding, maybe give it to someone else. Unless the person hoarding the re-rolls is me, then give me more. Let's say if we break 18,000, we'll do something crazy. I will have an iconic legendary monster show up, and I will let you decide, whoever gets us to 18, if the iconic legendary monster shows up to help them or not help them. And if we get to 20, we'll do some other crazy thing. So there you go. That's we've sweetened the pot a bit for Jasper's Game Day. 18, crazy monster thing. 20, another crazy monster thing or some other thing. Even I don't know what we're gonna do. So, with that being said, let us meet our people here that I'm about to inflict terrible emotional trauma on. Yeah, I mean, everybody's like, whoa. Also, I don't consent. Yeah. Okay, so here is how I would like to do this. Please introduce who you are and who you are playing. Okay. So let us start. My interface might be slightly different than y'all's, so I'm going to go with what I see on my screen here. Let's start with Jamie.
Hello, I'm Jamie, founder of Role Play Lead, sponsor of tonight's game, and I am playing the epic Furbolg druid named Vindley. She pops in at 7 foot 6 inches, and she has bright purple hair that is always braided and has lots of flowers coming out of it. She looks a little unkempt, but she's excited.
She's a strong girl. I'm
she
for
is.
It. So now this, because of course this happened to me, I have both a melee and also a Lee, so I will go with the Lee first. Lee.
Yes, my name is Lee. I will be playing Elonis Noro, the half-elf ranger. He's he thinks he's cooler than he actually is. It's fine.
I mean, he's level 20. He's pretty cool.
I mean, sure.
Also, did I mention that, audience, that we're going to be doing level 20 D&D? Because that's literally how I roll. I will say this, though, to their credit. Not everybody has played a lot of level 20. It is complicated. So please be patient with them if they like stumble over things or like trip over things. Or if you guys have questions, ask me. It's fine. It's unlimited power. It is, in fact, unlimited power. Yes. Speaking of unlimited power, Kelly.
I forgot I was level 20 and I forgot to pick my spells.
I mean, you better click fast.
Hi.
You're like learn.
So many learning. Like I'm not just gonna do vicious mockery every 2 seconds. I mean, come on now.
It is a brand. It is a mood. We are what we are. I think she like crashed immediately. That's vicious mockery, folks. See that? Cursed by hubris. You see that? Brought low by the gods.
What? I didn't crash, did I?
Yeah, you super did.
Oh no. Oh no. Well, you were all fine for me. Anyway, hi. I'm Kelly, the opera geek, and I am playing Amina, who is a bard. Surprise. But the cool part is I'm finally getting to play a level 20 College of the Opera Bard, which I helped write, and I've never gotten to play before. Well, I've played it, just not a level 20. And this is Scotty. He will probably show up occasionally, mostly because he likes to drool.
You're a bard with an animal companion. So
yeah, he likes to drool on me, so I have to wake him up occasionally.
Now, at one point, there was a donation tier to give Scotty treats. We established as a bit low because we don't want him to get diabetes. You tell us what is the Scotty treat dollar amount?
You know what? We're gonna say 100, but we're gonna start him off so that he can have a treat and show you all how he doesn't know how to chew properly because he's.
Oh my God.
But yes,
I will give you $100 out of my pocket right now to do that. To just do that. That's the stream, y'all.
And
Slowly
also, I
feeding
gave
this
him the
dog.
haircut that he's got, so that's not his fault.
We're all rocking quarantine looks now, so it's fine.
Now, excuse me, I'm gonna go pick all my spells.
I would just like to say, first of all, you're welcome for enabling you to play your class. Second of all, when people are shocked and awed by the College of Opera, where can they go acquire this class for their own use?
You can go purchase it for yourself on DM's Guild. And I believe they're still running their special where all royalties are waived, so the creators get 100% of the profits.
Till the 17th.
Till the 17th.
College of Opera.
Just saying. I'm on the cover. I look pretty cool.
Here's the thing, though. This is your commercial for your class, so be awesome and pick your spells.
Oh,
yes.
Okay, sorry.
Melee damage.
Hi there. I am Melee Damage. I will be playing my barbarian, Nasira Davari. She is a Zariel tiefling, and she is incredibly strong. Godlike strength, some would say, especially her. She likes to brag about that, like a lot.
She's a strong girl. If anybody saw our one-on-one shots this past weekend, where I interviewed May and we played a little bit of the Dungeons and also the Dragons, that is where Nasira made her first appearance there. Was May's first bard, by the way, and she was amazing at it. So she, I'm not even going to tell you what she did. But it involved convincing a dragon to basically go in on a scheme to defraud the drow rather than fight to the death, and that was a whole thing. So yeah, that's gonna be up on YouTube. So Q Times Twitch right now. All right. I literally, this did happen. We got to the end of the game and the cameras cut, and I was like, "How dare you? How dare you do this to me in public?" Thank you. Perfect. I'm sure none of that's gonna happen again tonight. Yeah. Eric.
Hi, I'm Eric. I own No Holds Barred. I was the sponsor for Mr. Perkins' game where he did terrible, terrible things. He talked about sphincters way too much. But I am playing a half-elf edgelord named Darcassian Zaliskar. He's way too many classes for me to list right now. I got a pro tip, Dave, that this is going to be a combat-heavy encounter. So I might have minned a little and maxed a lot. So we'll see. I don't know.
Hey, look, this is the thing. I have no vested interest in combat or not combat or whatever happens. I am just here to represent the will of the world and what it requires of those who dwell in it. That's all. And sometimes that means getting horribly murdered, and maybe that has happened. But you know what?
For those about to die, we salute you.
Yes,
right.
absolutely. Excellent. Also, there is no point of sphincters. That is too much talk of sphincters, by the way. I'm backing Perkins on this. I question a lot of the things he does because he is a terrible human being, but I'm with him on this one.
Excellent.
Yeah. Alex.
Good evening. Alex Kammer. I'm the director of GameOCon. I was a little surprised when I got the note from Fenway that we're playing 20th level characters. I haven't stayed with the character long enough to attain 20th level in this edition of D&D anyway. So you can see behind me, I have many represented. So I made a post on social media saying, if you all will send me your 20th level characters, I will have my kids pick a class, pick one of them, and I'll make a donation in your name for $100. And my kids, not surprisingly, picked a Tabaxi bounty hunter. And this is going to do Bishkinsky's character. I'm going to do my best to play this Tabaxi. And my kids, my daughter Vivian, who's 12, my son Jove, who's 8, also had one more request of me to be a proper Tabaxi, to have Tabaxi ears. So we're going to be doing that tonight too. So yeah, Anshun is the guy's name, my character's name.
I mean, I think if you're going like proper tabaxi, maybe like every once in a while, just kind of like randomly knock things off of your own desk
yeah.
there. Just sort of like.
We have 5 cats at home. It's a constant study. My cat behavior is second nature to me, no problem. There'll be a lot of meowing.
Just alternate between just lethal killing machine and just like kind of unbridled jerk, basically. To just
And
sort
sleeping.
of like, and also a lot of sleeping. And last but certainly not least, Mike.
Hello, my name is Mike. You probably have seen me if you have been on this channel before. I play a certain half-elf paladin named Vale Istafal. I also play, I'm also running. We just finished All That Glitters, a Waterdeep Dragon Heist campaign, and now we're going right into Dungeons of the Mad Mage. Should probably read up on that. Feels like I'm about to study, about to take a very hard physics test, and I've studied nothing. So, mega dungeons. Very much looking forward to that. I am playing Candle. I'm a sorcerer. I am a soft-spoken air genasi or genasi. As a matter of fact, for a $100 donation, you will be allowed in chat to actually debate that. So let's not do the debate of genasi, but for $100, you most certainly can.
No, the internet, they're going to debate it anyway. It's the internet. Maybe they get to decide which one it is, if it's Ganassi or Genasi for a $100 donation.
And here comes the Dungeon Master with the perfect answer. I like it. Yes, $100, you're right. For $100, you're right.
Also, I'm going to tell you guys now, we have like this wonderful, like elaborate interface. And again, the producer told me everything I need to know, and I super have no idea what it means. So they're going to let me know when you guys have rerolls or something. But if I miss something, I apologize. It's completely on me. One last heads up before we dive in properly. This is probably going to be a little bit on the longish side. We're probably going to push 4-ish hours. I don't anticipate going much over that. So we are probably going to take 2 breaks. So just one little heads up there. Roughly 90 minutes, maybe about an hour-ish after that. We'll play it by ear. Cool. So with that being said, let us dive in. Oh, and I guess it goes without saying, we're here in support of Jasper's Game Day. It is a fantastic charity. Obviously, you all are donating. If you, all jokes aside, all hype aside, if you have the ability to do anything, literally every single dollar counts. So we appreciate you watching. We appreciate you signal boosting. We appreciate you raising up the message of the charity, not just over the course of these streams, but forever, because it is necessary now more than ever, because it's very difficult out there for some people, and it's even harder for some others. So we want to do everything we can to sort of help anybody that we can, however we can. Okay, so that being said, you all awaken in darkness. Cold stone greets you as your senses guide you back to consciousness. You look around and see a dimly lit room with 3 doors and 6 other strangers. What does Candle look like?
Though there is no wind blowing through wherever we are, Candle's hair tousles just a little bit from an unseen breeze. That hair is a titanium blue-gray, which matches the grayish pallor of his skin. He's whip-thin, gaunt but not sickly. He moves with a grace, very organic, almost as if he is the wind born. He has on his body a kind of a tight cloak, and looking around furtively, seems to be something tumultuous, something behind, inside, and he looks to a moment to another individual, a tiefling.
You do see such a person, Nasira. You were reaping the benefits of your recent dealings with a blue dragon, and in enjoying the accolades of the drow as promised. You found yourself in your cups one night and fell asleep kind of in your seat, as you are wont to do, and came to finding yourself in this strange place surrounded by these strange people.
She kind of looks around and try to get her bearings. She goes, have I seen any of you before? Maybe you look familiar, maybe you don't. I don't know. I hang out in taverns a lot. Sometimes I have a tendency to forget things. Do I know any of you?
What does Vindley look like? I know you described her briefly, but Nasira, you see this towering wall of a Furbolg standing out like conspicuously, literally head and shoulders over everyone else.
Yeah, so she is unkempt. Her long purple hair is just matted and everywhere. There are flowers and moss. You're not sure if they're growing there, if they've been placed there, but they're just weaved in through her hair. She has pinkish skin, and she is kind of just staring around. I don't believe I've met you before. I travel a lot, though. Here, I don't recognize at all.
You're beautiful, though. I love all this.
Oh, thank you. And she kind of looks at it like it's the first time she's ever seen it. Oh, yes. Thank you. It's nice. I've met several of your kind before, but you are unique and beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe putting like some little doodads on my horns at some point. Maybe, decorate them a little bit, some jewels, maybe some flowers like you have. That would be really cool.
And she'll druid craft a flower. I can make you some others later that will fit nicer. Do you know them?
Yeah, all of you witness this, hear this. You are all in this small area, somewhat all together.
Hello.
I've never seen any of you before. I have no idea how we got here. Does anyone know how we got here? I was searching for those who have killed the priestess I was sworn to protect. And now here, 3 doors in front of us, and the 6 of you. Mystery.
When he says 3 doors, you do sort of look around and you notice something. On the center of the floor, you see a carving that looks like a right hand gauntlet held upright with the palm forward. In one part of the room, there is a red door with 5 claw marks in it. On another part, away from the red door, an unmarked shimmering metal door, gleaming but cold. In the third spot in the room is a gray door with a circle divided diagonally into white and black semicircles. Amina, it looked like you were about to say something a moment ago.
I don't know any of you. I was very busy. My bottle is empty now. Which one of you drank it? Amina is a half elf. She's rather tall. She's got red hair that is very piled up on top of her head. If you see the artwork that I put on Twitter, it's very big. It's full of secrets. She is wearing a green bodice, and even though the artwork is a dress, she's wearing the pants, and she has a very fancy cape. And she does have some jewels on, and she is carrying a bottle that does look, in fact, to no longer have alcohol in it.
Alanis, when she's looking around saying, "Who drank my alcohol?" what is Alanis doing?
Alanis is going to kind of brush off his gray leathers and just kind of look around. He's very well kempt, and is... So, you drink also. Seems a few of you are of the lush type, yes?
Friend, you have to be much more wealthy than I am to be a lush.
Mm.
To be fair.
Someone finished your bottle. And I can guarantee you it was not me.
Monsoon, are Monsoon's ears actually rainbow colored ears, or because these what you had? Does Monsoon actually look like a rainbow kitty?
No, it's leopard spots, I'm told. This is as close as we could come. So Monsoon is a nattily clad tabaxi, leopard spots, full heavy armor, but also very fine clothes. And he is checking everyone out. I don't believe I know any of you. I was right in the middle of a job. This is very disappointing. Someone must have an explanation as to why I'm here. My employer will not be happy.
When you say that, a voice booms from everywhere and nowhere at once. It says, "Choose your door, mortals. Be advised, you need not all go through the same door. The path is up to you."
Why are you so loud? She'll just, she looks very annoyed.
I would like to check my back and make sure that I have Hazaron with me.
Hazaron is gone. You reach for him instinctively, and he is not there.
Oh.
After seeing you scramble, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you're fine. You do see she gets very kind of like anxious, and she out of like nerves, she kind of holds on to her horns and like her knees kind of buckle together, and she starts looking around.
And I'm like looking for my holy avenger.
It is gone.
Yeah.
All of you, your relics, your mystical effects, your accoutrements and trophies from your adventures are all missing.
It had a staff. Branches coming out of it.
My cape.
No?
My cape is my cape. And she like does this fancy gesture to see if her cape will billow like it's supposed to.
It does not.
Damn.
Huh.
That's mighty unfortunate, actually.
So no weapons anywhere on me, on my various weapons?
None of
are
your
gone?
magical effects. If you had any,
Magical effects.
if you had any mundane daggers or swords or anything like that, all of that's in place. Any of like regular clothing, if you had regular armor, you've got that. But anything magical is gone.
I would like to point out that approximately 5 minutes ago, I messaged B. Dave Walters to say, I hope the wondrous items I chose are okay. And he was like, they're fine.
Mm.
I
turns
wonder
out they
why.
are fine. Perfectly fine.
That may have happened. At no point did I say Perkins was the only terrible person. Yeah.
So like guys, this place kind of sucks. Between the stunning lack of ale and I don't know, our stuff, I think we should probably choose a door and probably make like a bread truck and haul buns out here.
I vote the red door.
Again, you see there are 3 doors. Again, there is a red door with 5 scratches across it. There is 5 claw marks, clearly, like something has raked down it. There is a shimmering metal door that is gleaming but cold, and a green door with a circle divided diagonally into white and black semicircles. And the voice booms again. Choose your path, mortal, but you must choose for yourself.
I go to the red door and extend my claws and see if they match approximately the claw marks on the red door.
It would have been a bigger hand than yours, but roughly. Like you feel like if you would leave similar markings, they would just be smaller if you were to try and scratch it. But when you actually give me a perception check.
Is a 21.
But as you sort of like, do you touch it or just kind of like look
I
at
do.
it?
I do. You know, I'm curious. I haven't do all the things.
It feels more carved than actually damaged. Like it doesn't look like something actually scratched this. It looked like it was carved to look like this mark in particular.
Okay.
I like the color green. It's like trees and nature. I'm feeling called this way. And Vindley will make her way over. Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say, in the middle of your speech, Amina walks by you and just pushes through the green door.
Well, there's not a green door. There's red.
Oh, crap.
Like
I thought you said green.
color.
I wrote down green.
Gray.
I thought
Gray.
he said green too.
Hey,
Don't
I'm
worry.
from Arkansas, man. I don't talk right. Gray.
All right. Well,
Yeah. There's red, metal, and gray.
gray it is. Red seems bloody, and I don't like metal.
All right, you see Vindley opens the gray door and steps through, and you cannot see what is on the other side once she's gone.
Gray door it is.
I would follow.
Who else is going through the gray door?
I also follow.
That's
Hold
the
on,
one
so
with
go through
the
it.
circle that's white and black.
That is the white and black circles. Yep.
That's where I was heading.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
All
where I
right.
go.
Is anyone not going through the gray door?
I'm waiting to see if I hear any screams.
You do not. Like they just step through and they're gone.
He took my. I just saw him drink. He took my bottle.
Tackle him.
When Amina doesn't hear any shrieks of abject pain, she kind of rolls her eyes, throws the bottle over her shoulder, and goes through the gray door.
All right. Even though you all sort of came through it one at a time, you realize that once you get through, you're all together again, like you walk through simultaneously, and you are in a grand, almost unimaginably opulent hall. It is like the walls themselves are made out of platinum. It's like there's chandeliers that are made out of diamond. The floors themselves look like they are made of gold. And all of it sparkles and twinkles and scintillates in a daylight that seems to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. It's beautiful.
Someone got my rider.
Oh, this is my kind of place.
I am instantly skeptical.
Give me a perception check, Candle.
All right. That's not so good. I only got a 9.
You look around, it seems legit, as advertised. Does anyone else want to look around?
I certainly will.
Perception. Anyone who wants is perception.
I got a 29.
29. Let's see if anybody beats that. That is significant.
10.
10. I mean, that's how level 20 rolls, y'all.
Math. 25.
25. D&D Beyond rolled out the new digital dice there, so anybody using D&D Beyond can just
Heck
click
yeah.
and roll for you. I will say, for the most part, I don't use too many house rules in D&D, but I do use one, that a 20 always succeeds and a 1 always fails, even on skill checks. So there's always a chance for things to go well and always a chance for things to go not well.
Well, I'm playing, so you'll have plenty of ones.
I believe in you. Yes.
Me
And
too.
hey, and the more rerolls that you give, Chad, is the more opportunity for more ones. So there you go.
Wait, that's not nice.
I said what I said, Chad. Who was it? Was it Monsoon that had a 29?
Yes.
And you did as well, Nasira, correct? 29s?
Yep.
As you all are both sort of looking around and you're like, wow, this is nice. This is cool. You look at the wall and something catches your eye. There are bones inlaid into the wall. You're like, wait, is that a fault in the marble? No, that's an arm bone. That's what that is. Yep. Mm-hmm. And you like look around a little more. You're like, those are finger bones. Okay, I've cut enough of those off in my time. I know what a femur looks like. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just intermittently, just every once in a while, like in the midst of the walls, there's like a rib. Just sort of like a spinal bone. Yeah.
Can I?
Are the
Can I
bones
roll
also
Arcana?
jeweled? Oh, sorry.
Okay. Can you what, Nasira? Sorry.
Can I roll an Arcana check to see if I know if that's any kind of ritual or means something or?
You can. And what were you saying there, Armina?
I wanted to know if the bone, because I had a 25. I want to know if the bones were also jeweled.
They are not. With a 25, they're humanoid, but you can't necessarily tell what. Although they are of varying sizes. Like you somewhat feel like if you were able to see what Vindley's bones look like. I mean, they're physically larger than yours. But I mean, they're not monsters. Like they look like the bones of like intelligent creatures. What did you get there on that Arcana?
21.
Nasira, you've been a lot of places and you've seen a lot of things and told a lot of stories. And as you think about this, you're like, oh yeah, I just it's like it's on the tip of your tongue, but it won't come to you. Like when you wake up from a dream and you have that split second of like, oh, whoa, this thing happened and it was No, it was
Yeah, usually I bounce these ideas off of Hazaron, but without him here, my buddy in crime, just my brain's failing me.
Perhaps,
Does mean something though.
Perhaps might I help you if I could identify what creatures these came from? Might that jog your memory? Might I be able to make a nature check to see if I can identify specifically what creatures these bones are from?
You can. Nature or investigation, whichever's higher. Any of you, presumably having had this pointed out to you, can do a nature or investigation, or religion.
For nature, I got a 25.
They're definitely humanoids. You're elves, humans, orcs, goblins. Like there's no pattern, but they're all intelligent creatures. Dwarves, gnomes.
Sacrifice or murder? That's the question. Were they willingly?
I will say, especially since you all got like very high, like none of them seem to be they don't seem to, outside of the fact that they are bones, they don't seem to be damaged. Like they're not broken, they're not burned, they're not bitten. They're perfectly preserved bones.
Maybe
And there's not a lot of them. I mean, this is like a sprawling palatial place. Like, I mean, as far as the eye can see in either direction, it goes. So it's not like, bone, 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 bone. It's just every once in a while you're like, that's a foot.
Maybe we're in like some kind of like Hall of Kings or something where it's supposed to be like their honored dead or something. I mean, it would explain the jewels. Kind of makes sense. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure. But
I have only one thing about that. If this was a Hall of Kings or somewhere where the honored dead are interred, then they would be placed far more better than just haphazard bones being shoved into pure platinum, which unto itself is terrifying.
Yeah.
I
was
would
trying
only
to look on the right
No.
side.
Your optimism is refreshing. However, I do believe that this is probably a horrible trap, and I think there's going to be something that's going to want to insert our bodies back into the wall as well.
I agree with the sorcerer.
Let's go find them. Bonus is going to start walking down the hall.
As you start walking down the hall, give me a perception check, Alonis. Is you're like, this seems legit. Just off. Yeah.
This is a 19.
This place, even though there's chandeliers, it almost seems like they're reflecting more than actually giving off light. Like I said, there's just sort of an ambient, almost like pleasant afternoon sunlight that's just everywhere. Like there's not really windows. You don't see where it's coming from. I mean, again, except for the bones, it's very pleasant in here. And even the bones themselves, besides the implication that they are bones.
Everything's pretty.
Yeah, no, they're still pretty. Like they're where they are. But you do see up ahead, like something is disguised. It's like it is obscured from you somehow. You can't quite make it out.
Can Amina, given that she has some familiarity with the finer things in life, look at the gems and see if they are real?
You can either give me perception or investigation, whichever one of those
Perception
is higher.
or investigation. They okay, they're almost the same. Not a one, not a one.
Or do.
Natural 20!
Hey, all right.
Thank you, Die Hard Dice.
It's very real. Is you like touch it and like run your hands.
Oh no,
over
I
it,
mean
like,
real as in actually the gemstones, not an illusion.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it is that. Like, I mean, diamonds, rubies. I mean, again, it is almost unimaginable opulence. Every little thing is inset. There's tables,
Are any of them
there's
loose?
pictures. They are not.
Crap.
That was my next question.
I'm sure it was. No, they are very much stuck in place.
All right. We shall see then. She is looks very disappointed that she can't just like pocket a couple. But
I'm sure you could make some of them loose, Amina.
Yeah, Nasira would like to try to jimmy some of these loose if she can, with using some hand strength, see if she could pull one out.
Nasira, you grab onto a ruby the size of a tangerine and you start to twist, and you realize your strength does not come to you. And it actually is really uncomfortable.
Okay, so here's the thing, guys. I'm like a god when it comes to strength. Like, no lie, like I'm really kind of cool. But this thing isn't budging. But I tried for you hot stuff.
Impressed. Well done.
Vindley is going to follow Iloness down the hallway. I'm just gonna.
It's when Nasira still kind of like squeezes this thing to like, you know, impress a pretty girl. You're like, you know, normally Nasira, you're like, this thing would just pop out. It'd be like, you know, twisting the head off of a squirrel. It'd be, but nope. Nothing. Up ahead, Alonus, you hear and you see out of the corner a large construct comes walking out. In the center of its chest, it has a golden dial, almost like a wheel that is like rotating. And where it should have a head, it has a single eyeball. This sort of like looks at you, Alonus, and then looks up at you, Vindley, and just walks forward. And it is like, please, designation, Nasira, do not desecrate this holy place.
Do you have a name? Where are we? Anything like that?
It just like looks at you for a second and you hear like zzz. You may refer to this one as designation Marut. You all have been summoned to act as jurors in a trial. Please step forward.
Hello,
I do
friend.
so.
And Alona steps forward.
Happily.
Yeah, Vindley will step forward as well.
Sounds
As you all sort of walk that direction, 3 doors open up on opposite walls. Out of one of them, a woman in long black robes with olive skin and raven black hair and black eyes comes like flitting out. She's like, oh, thank you so much for coming today. Hello. You must have traveled so far. Unfortunately, your host was not gracious enough to prepare a reception for you. Out another one of the doors, a man in a white suit that sort of sparkles, almost like there's dew over it or tiny little bits of platinum, comes out and he's like, yes, travelers, I am remiss. Would you like some refreshments?
Yes.
You know what would be refreshing is an explanation of why we're here for jury duty.
He's like, I'm sure that would be refreshing indeed. And he turns his hand over, and when he does, up out of the floor, a huge banquet table rises. It looks like it could comfortably seat about 12 people. There are 7 of you, of course, although there's 2 spaces there for Vindley. And on it is everything you all like. There are Furbolg delicacies, there's tiefling delicacies, things that Darkeesian's mother would have made when you were just a tiny young thing. There are freshly caught things that would tickle the tabaxi palate. It is really what you would think of as a banquet in heaven. And there are significant pitchers of every manner of wine and ale.
I set to it. This is Monsoon's jam. Eating.
Alona also sits, takes a plate. Takes some
Doesn't even
drink.
think twice about it.
It's
Goes
at the
down.
risk of being specious. I feel like Monsoon just takes the time to just knock one little thing off, like a
That's
spoon or something like
That's
that.
true.
It's for good luck. It's for good luck to knock something off the table.
Nasira runs past the food and goes straight for the ale and mead and just kind of walks through double fisting and smiling.
Just like 2 fisting pitchers of
Yes.
flagons. Yep.
I mean, I'm not going to say that I have never taken food from a stranger or drinks, but Is this not a little suspicious to any of you?
Yeah,
100%.
Darkassian is not
Moderately.
taking part at
It's
all.
fine.
He's standing there with his arms crossed, just kind of tapping his foot expectantly, waiting for the explanation still.
Nothing is free, ever.
Out of the
Alonis made a
third
sandwich.
door, a tall, gaunt man in a gray robe walks out and says, "No, it's never free. You pay for it all eventually." And the man in white looks at him and says, "Please do not offend our guests. I promise the food is safe." And he walks over and just like pulls a turkey leg off and like takes a big bite out of it. He's like, And the woman steps over and she just like scoops her finger in what would have been your favorite pudding, Amina, and just goes,
Well, now I'm definitely not eating it.
"You're just gonna miss out, but that's okay."
I don't know where your hands have been.
Would you like to?
No,
There's a spoon on the floor.
you're not my type.
When she's like, "Oh, I'm everyone's type," and the man in the
You
gray
think
robe
that.
just goes, "We don't have time for this. Let's get on with it." And the robot steps forward and is like, "Proceeding to get on with it." And you see the disc rotates in its chest, and it is like, "You all have been assembled as champions. You will be presented with a number of challenges based on your actions or inactions. The guilt and innocence of the parties gathered will be assuaged and adjudicated by me."
I'm sorry.
Mm.
I did not think that I had drunk this much, but I have apparently drunk this much, and I'm going to go lay down because eventually I'm going to wake up, and this is just gonna go away because no. And she just starts to like walk over to the stairs to sit down and go to sleep.
They just sort of watch her go for a second, and the woman in black walks over to you, Nasira, and she's like, "You mind if I have a sip?"
Oh, yeah, sure. Here. Do you
She
know
actually
who-
leans down and just holds her mouth open for you to just like pour a little bit of it. She's like,
Oh, and I do. I full like Hollywood dance dip her, like Dancing
Yeah.
with the Stars,
She
and
goes,
as I stand her up, I kind of twirl her around and then into my arms, and I go, "Are we allowed to ask whose trial it is?"
I think
She
that's a
goes-
good question.
She goes, "Well," the construct goes, "Silence. No, there will be no interference with the jurors. Nothing should be allowed to taint your actions or inactions."
It's fair.
One question: how much are we getting paid?
The man in white says, "Pending how this goes, I'm sure all of us would be willing to show our gratitude in one way or another."
You hear from the stairs, "Never take a job without getting the fee in advance. Don't do it."
Are you saying, depending on our ruling, if it's favorable in your opinion, we'll be paid better? That does not sound like a fair jury.
He just sort of like sighs for a second and he opens his mouth like he's about to say something. And the one in gray says, "What difference does it make, mortals? One of you wants wine, one of you wants power, one of you wants relics. It all ends up the same way."
I seek only vengeance.
"So eat, drink, be merry. I don't care. Just make your choice so we can get on with this farce."
Can I bring my sandwich?
You hear the zzz, 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 zzz. "It is acceptable that you take a road sandwich."
Yes. Alonis is going to make a sandwich and put it into his pocket.
And everyone that does eat, it is magnificent. It is some of the best food and best drink that you've ever had. It's wonderful.
Yeah, but at this point, Vindley will just like eat something from her fur bulk section. It seems okay. Maybe pocket something to go since the big giant mechanical thing said she could.
Yes, it is. What kind of food would she eat?
She is a big fan of like granolas and bar, very nature-based things. She loves like mushroom salads, make her very happy. So I'm sure that she's enjoying some of that. Well, it smells disgusting and makes everyone else feel weird.
Absolutely does, by the way. There's nuts, there's berries, there's acorns the size of your head. Like, it's magnificent.
Nasira makes 2 more sandwiches, one that she proceeds to eat and kind of has hanging out of her mouth, and then she takes the second sandwich and puts it in her new friend's other pocket, and she goes, we'll split that later. I don't have pockets.
I got you. I have 2.
Amina is sitting on the stairs and watching everybody, and they're not dying. And she is quite hungry. She's going to kind of inch her way back to the table to see what else is on offer.
Fenway will bend down. Oh, would you like a mushroom salad? It's really quite delicious here.
The man in white approaches you, Amina, and he says, if I may, I would recommend what's under that dish. And he just points at one of the silver trays.
She'll lift it up just to see what's under it.
It is your favorite meal. It's what your grandfather used to make for you on your birthdays.
So under the dish is grilled cheese and tomato soup, which is fine. I mean, I'm here for that. It's probably like gourmet cheese.
It's the best possible grilled cheese and tomato soup. Like, it's astounding. Yes.
I'm playing with a lot,
but it is great.
I mean, yeah. And she's definitely going to pair it with an alcoholic beverage. But she's gonna tuck in at this point because nobody else is dead yet.
Nope.
So even if it's a dream, she's probably gonna be
fine. Nope. They all seem fine. As you all are eating, the Marut just says, you will be presented with 4 challenges. In 4 doors appear on all sides of them. And he says, to the north, the challenge of the sky. To the south, the challenge of the land. To the east, the challenge of shadows. To the west, the challenge of the depths. You could choose for yourself which door to enter before, but now you must all go together. Decide.
Let's go to the sky.
Land.
I would very much agree with the sky.
Particular to the shadows.
This
Well,
is
we
the
have to
weirdest
do them
journey
all.
tour I've ever been in.
Usually you sit down and someone gives you information and then you decide whether that information, this is different. I'm for the sky. I have not traveled much in the air. I've traveled across the lands a lot. I'd be interested to see what that looks like, but whatever the group agrees upon, I, of course, will follow.
That is 3 for the sky, 1 for the land, 1 for the shadows.
How many times have you all been summoned to jury duty?
This is like the 9th time.
Yeah.
I always get struck every time.
Yeah.
I never make it through voir dire.
Have any of you considered just not showing up?
No, that would be ridiculous.
Oh.
No. Why would you?
I've never been summoned, so yeah.
The woman in black says, well, I guess I'm happy to be your first.
Sweetheart, you're not my first anything. I guess we'll go to the sky.
That is 4 for the sky. And like the Marut turns and points in that direction, which the challenge of the sky is to the north. Proceed.
Are we ready?
I do wish I had my only weapon, but I'm ready, yes.
Speaking of, can we have, our things?
Oh, that's a good question.
That would be phenomenal.
The disc rotates in the Marut's chest for a moment and says, your material effects and abilities were hindered for your own protection so that you did not behave rudely in this place and suffer the consequences.
I'm going to cast Detect Magic just to see if I can cast a spell.
You go to detect magic, you can't. The magic doesn't come to you.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
The man in gray says, shame, really? I do so enjoy showing Lippy upstarts their place.
Well, I go back to playing with a live mouse.
There super is a live mouse there, by the way, as part of your like food. It's like in a little cage kind of under the table, so it didn't freak out anybody else. But like there's definitely like, look, there's some gamey stuff under there when you're like, oh, what? There's dessert? Yes. The Marut says, you will be restored to everything you need to complete the trial.
To the sky.
To the sky. Yes. I'll follow you.
Towards the door.
I was born for this, so excellent.
The man in white looks at you and he's like, I suppose you were, weren't you, Candle? You don't recall telling him your name.
Yes, I was. Now, you'll have to forgive me. Only a being with such power such as this would have to be a god. And I assume that the 7 of us are addressing 3 of your kind, 3 gods. So I'm curious to what deities you are.
He sort of looks down a little bit and he inhales like he's about to say something, and the Marut speaks up again and says, you will not reveal the nature of yourselves to the jurors. The champions must proceed of their own free will.
That's quite philosophical for a construct, but clearly we're burning daylight. Let us go.
You see the eyeball sort of like rotates and it looks at you and it's like, in your experience, are constructs incapable of philosophy?
Yes.
And he like leans forward and it's like, perhaps you should acquaint yourselves with constructs of a higher quality. It stands back
Root
up
has
again.
a point.
That's a fair point.
Good luck, champions.
To the sky.
And you see the woman in the robe like walks over and just like plops down at the table and picks up one of the pitchers that you'd been drinking from, Nasira, and she just goes, good luck, we'll be watching.
Oh, yeah, I think we're gonna need it.
When you all, does everyone go through the door at this point? It's the exact same experience that even though you go through in order, you feel like you appear all at once and you are on a mountain and immediately there is wind blowing. Candle, you think it's great. The rest of you, it's freezing. It's a sort of coming from all directions and no directions at once. And you do feel a rush of power through all of you that you didn't quite realize was lacking in there until you feel it fully restored. And your material effects are returned to you, and you hear, oh dear Nasira, I'd begun to believe I would find a new master amongst the drow.
Oh, buddy, no, not today. Sorry. You're still stuck with me.
Where are we? How did we arrive here?
Oh, no idea. I was hoping you knew, but if not,
are you showing off our puppy?
It's again, dogs equal ratings. Yes, same thing. I don't know that we'll get a separate pool for that dog to get treats.
Say hi, Dora.
Just saying, like
You have fans.
he is going without right now. He's
Sorry,
going
I'll
without.
leave
Yes.
Lucy.
You all stay. Actually, all of you give me perception checks.
Ooh, spike to 1.
Yep. Vindley, it's not so terrible for you here because again, you are covered in fur. Those of you that would have been dressed particularly warmly, it's okay. It's by no means freezing, even for the rest of you. But if you were anywhere in a summer climate, it is unpleasant. It's we'll call it. It's about 60 degrees and windy.
And Vindley also has traveled a lot, so she's
Mhm.
kind of been to a variety of different environments. So while she probably isn't in love with the temperature, it doesn't like throw her completely.
What was the perceptions there for you guys?
24.
23.
23 as well.
24.
Nat 20.
Hey,
Yeah.
nat 20 and a natural 1. Monsoon, you have successfully disbelieved. You're searching for the mouse. You're like, it was just here. I don't. Where's the thing? The rest of you see the mouse is like right behind his head, like on his shoulder, just like looking at you, like, don't tell him. As Monsoon is sort of like, it just had it. You, Darkesian, the rest of you can see as you look sort of down and ahead, there looks to be a sprawling village of some kind built into the base of the mountain. It is, you can't quite make it out from here, except it's like multi-tiered and with like campfires burning. It's some distance down the mountain. Darkesian, you, with your natural 20, see two things. Down amongst the villagers, you see greenish gray mottled figures with like large hulking shoulders and like big tusks walking around down there wearing like furs that are draped about them. And you also see smaller ones where you're a well-traveled person and with a natural 20. You realize it is orcs. There's a smattering of bugbears, which are large, nightmarish, almost cat-like creatures with impossibly long arms, but also a smattering of goblins, kobolds, generally unpleasant races, but they are all down there just sort of going about their daily life. You know, some of them are cooking, you know, some of them are like making things, sawing things. And up in higher on the mountain behind you, what no one else seems to notice is you do see 6 extremely tall figures that have greenish gold skin and are standing there looking down at the people at the base of the mountain, and in the process looking down at all of you.
Would you describe these creatures as huge in size?
I would describe them as huge in size.
Okay, so I'll briefly remark on how it's odd that well, do it in character. Interesting that orcs are associating with goblinoids, but I think the more pressing concern is the giants on the hilltop.
And once he points it out to you, you all are kind of like, oh, you know, higher up, you see them standing there. There's 6 of them. One of them has a gigantic maul over his shoulders that he's just sort of like twisting like this with. And the rest of them have like swords and sheaths, and they're all wearing armor. Like, and one of them kind of picks up a helmet and puts it on while it's looking at you all. What, Nasir, sorry?
Mine's bigger.
I guarantee I hit harder.
Are they close enough that we can talk to them, or like no?
You would need to move sort of in their direction, again, especially with all the wind. Like maybe if the wind were calmer, you might be able to yell. You feel they're probably about another 100 feet up. The village is some distance below. I mean, it's maybe a half mile. That's why most of you couldn't see it, except for Darkesian's natural 20. Like, he kicked in with the Hawkeyes. And then he's like, there's 17 orcs, 14 goblins, 16 kobolds, 8 bugbears. You know, that one smokes. Terrible habit. Yeah, so you would need to move a little towards them if you wanted to talk. Unless you had some way to speak at a distance, of course.
I would think that I kind of pick up on the fact that everyone else isn't into the wind as much as I would be. So I use my kind of focus for a moment and kind of push my arms out to either side, and suddenly the wind goes from being buffeting against you to moving around. So I'm using Storm Guide, and I'm just pushing the wind out in a 20-foot radius around. So I'm just moving it in such a way that we get a little break from it.
I just appreciate all these years of constantly trying to avoid, you know, windscreens into the mics and stuff. Now this, I finally get to be the hashtag Foley. Yes, it all goes out in all directions around you. And there's basically a quiet stillness in the pocket of this, as you see Candle with a twist of his wrist directs the wind around you. And when you do this, Candle, you see all 6 of them turn and look right down at you. And the one that kind of had the hammer behind his head looks and just jumps off and is very much flying in you guys' direction.
Alonus is going to wave and scoot out of the way.
He, boom, on both feet right in front of you and just stands up and says, "Hail and well met."
Hail and well met, friend.
Again, when he stands all the way up, Vindley, you come to about his waist. The rest of you are around his like knee-ish to upper thigh level. I mean, he's huge. All of you give me an Arcana check. If any of you have any ranks in cleric, you can roll with advantage.
21.
6.
15.
6, 21, 15. Anybody?
14.
18 here.
18.
I got a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Candle, especially you being no stranger to the upper aeons, you realize this is an Empyrean. He's not just a giant. He's like a divine spirit. Theoretically, an agent of both law and good.
Looking up, I would bow. My lord of the mountain, can you assist us? We are here, well, I guess of our own volition, but we do not know exactly what is going on. We suddenly appeared here.
He looks down at you and he's like, do any of you speak Celestial?
Boom. Yes, I do.
Does anyone else speak Celestial?
College of the Opera.
There it is.
Mhm.
He says in Celestial, kind of under his breath a little bit, "What curious tiny creatures."
Amina would step up, and despite the calm that Candle has provided, her cape is dramatically billowing in the wind, as it do. She is carrying a bottle that she swiped from the table in the other room. And she looks up and she says, "Well, in Celestial, that's not a very nice way to speak about other creatures. I mean, we could very well say, what odd, huge people."
It turns its head and it says back to you in Celestial. It's like, "Curious. It speaks the divine tongue. Tell me, why do you associate so openly with corrupted ones like that? And does anyone else have any, is any of their alignment evil? It doesn't matter if you're good, lawful, or chaotic, but is anyone evil?" Oh, good.
Would they tell you if they were?
But he would know.
That's
the thing.
true.
And he looks at Nasira and he's like, "Its soul is blighted. Its weapon is evil. Why do you associate with it?"
Well, what's your name, friend?
He opens his mouth and you basically just hear something that sounds like a thunder rumble.
Oh, I'm so tempted.
Do it.
You should. It's a live stream.
How far away am I from everybody else?
Right now, you're all sort of together, and this giant man.
Okay,
is
so
like-
I won't actually cast Thunderwave to mock his name. So, she'll say, "I am going to call you Bob." Hello, Bob. I'm not sure what you think I am, or the fact that I associate with them. I have just met them. I've been brought here. I don't know what I'm doing here. Would you care to enlighten me, Bob?
"I do not know what a Bob is. My name is," and he just rumbles again. He's like, he just sort of like flips the maul over and drops it into the ground, and like the rock cracks.
Okay.
Like this is a very heavy weapon.
If he wants to play that. What would I have to roll, being a bard specializing in voice, to mimic his name back at him?
Performance.
I have a plus 16.
I was about to say, you should have some capability in such things. Yes.
That is 29.
You hear that, like, to you all, Celestial almost seems like they're almost like singing to each other slightly back and forth. And then she sort of makes the same rumble. And he just laughs. He throws his head back and he's like, oh, well met, tiny person. And he sort of slaps you on the shoulder way too hard. Like, to him, he's like, boop.
Well, okay. So in my language, that, and she does it again, translates to Bob. Okay, so I'm going to call you Bob.
He switches to common and he looks down and he's like, you all are not here to join in our glorious crusade, are you?
We absolutely are.
Tell us more about this glorious crusade.
To date, he picks the hammer up again and he's like, we will wipe those vile creatures from existence.
Let's do it. I brought sandwiches.
What have they done, Bob?
They exist. They are evil. They must be destroyed.
What have they specifically done that is evil? Like, did they not put out their trash on the correct day? Did they make really loud noises when you were trying to sleep?
Did they murder anyone, which is more evil than the trash thing, I think?
But not in the
Arguably.
sleep thing. We can probably agree that the sleep thing is far worse.
Well, yes, I don't like when the neighbors do that, but
He looks at you all genuinely confused. In Nasira, you hear Hazaron in your mind. We could strike him before he saw us moving.
You know, I realize that you think violence is always the answer, but sometimes you have to talk first. Just sometimes.
Statistically speaking, I have been correct.
About 80% of the time. So see, why are you complaining? You always get to hit somebody anyways.
You all very much see that she's just sort of like under her breath, like, stop. Everybody can hear you.
everything okay, Nasira? Are you feeling okay?
Yeah, sometimes, Hazaron, he has a lot of opinions. Some of which I agree with, most of which I don't. But, you know, he's my buddy.
When you say he, you're referring to...
Oh.
On her back, you all see she's got a gigantic two-handed sword. She's not a particularly big tiefling. Her sword's about as big as she is. If she's about 5 feet tall, the blade's about 5 feet. It is almost cartoonishly large on her back.
Okay.
That would be my friend too.
Yes, I suppose. All right. All right.
It looks, the Bob really does just look confused, and he's like, they're evil. They're here. So we will destroy them.
So, Bob, are you getting paid to destroy them? That makes sense. I could get behind that.
Oh,
I
we get
require
paid.
no material wealth. Darakesian, you so far being the only one who could clearly see them down there, it's just a village. That you see no evidence of anything other than sentients living their life. I mean, there's like sharpened spikes and things along the side for defense, but I mean, you see, there's no cages, there's no people strung up, you know, there's
Drawn
no,
and quartered.
yeah, there's nothing like that. It is just a settlement.
Tell me this, Bob. Is your quest to vanquish these evil creatures just a racial prejudice against them, or have they done something that you know to have wronged others? Why do you define these beings as evil.
He stands up and he kind of squares a little bit, and you see his blue skin looks like a little darker, almost like a sky that is getting like cloudy with a storm. And he's like, "It is not prejudice to crush evil."
Existence does not equal evil, Empyrean.
These are all very fair points.
He just picks his hammer up again, and he looks back at the others, and he just like taps it twice on his shoulder. And you see they start walking down the mountain towards the village. And he says, "Tiny ones, I feel you have taken up enough of our time. Please stand aside while we go maintain the divine order."
Nasira would like to polymorph into something that flies very fast. So either something that is very aerodynamic or some kind of like bird of prey. And she would like to head them off down into the village. So she'd like to wink at everybody and then just kind of like step off the mountain and polymorph into whatever it is and fly down.
I could say you could turn into some sort of diving hawk and get down there pretty fast. Like,
Yeah.
okay. Is your goal to land in the village or get between the giants or the Empyreans in the village? Don't get me wrong, they are giants, but they are Empyreans, they're different creatures. But is it your goal to like land on the mountain between them or like come down to the village?
My goal is to come down to the village and hopefully find some kind of like tavern or group of people that's like close nearby to either A, figure out if they know about these guys, and then B, possibly warn them that someone's coming to kill them all.
Okay, you're like, hey, cool, whoop, and are gone. And you all see the Empyreans are heading down, and they are all armed and armored. But I mean, they're not like, rah! It's very much like, yep, gonna go kill some folks, and just sort of like moseying downward. Yeah. As Nasira pops over the side, what are the rest of you doing?
Vindley will see Nasira do that, and she will wild shape and copy her and try and get to wherever she ends up landing.
You will like, the two.
We're the real birds of prey.
Yeah,
Don't
like,
let anyone swear.
Literally the real birds of prey. This is the spinoff I didn't know I needed. So again, I apologize for being meta here because I can't quite see the overlay. Are those rerolls that we've already got that have been given there?
Yeah, you guys, you have a lot. So you have them. Kelly has a bunch.
Production overlords, if you could, if it's possible to put here in our Zoom chat who's got what, because it is almost impossible to see here. I apologize, y'all. We're not trying to ignore your rerolls. It's like,
yeah. Hello, disembodied voice of God.
Hello. Yes, please do. Feel free to put it all in caps. Anything you can do. Yeah, no, because on my screen it's like yay big. Yeah, sorry y'all. So
I don't even see where they are. So
yeah, we'll make sure everyone knows that they've got their rerolls. Because even just now, I'm sort of like, are we under attack? Like one of those red dots. You know? Yeah, there we are. So the team Animorph is like heading down the mountain. What are the rest of you doing? Because you see Bob very much picks up the hammer and is like, stand aside, essentially, and seems like he's about to start walking away.
So first, Amina's going to look at the other. I'm the only female presenting member of the group that's left. Am I correct?
Currently, yes.
She's going to look at the men and be like, well, don't look at me. I can't do that. I'm just gonna, you know what, Bob. Oh, Bob.
He looks back at you, and again, he's wearing like a red toga with this like big bronze belt buckle and like just armor over one shoulder and gauntlets. Like he looks very Grecian, like has like bronze greaves. And he looks at you and he's like, yes, tiny person.
Can you tell me more about your crusade? And she's going to attempt to persuade him to stop and talk.
We'll roll your persuasion.
Oh, that's only a +10.
Amateur hour.
It's true.
That's a 24.
Those are rookie numbers. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so let me just say it out loud just so everybody knows. Kelly has 1 reroll. I has 1 reroll. Alex has 1 reroll. May has 1 reroll. And we have a wild card reroll.
You
I'm
cannot
going-
eat the dice. Okay.
Here, let me see. I know what I will do. We'll let fate decide who gets this other one. That is the
We
wrong
have
kind of
2
die.
wild
We
cards
have
now.
2 wild cards.
Oh no,
Hey.
we all got jumbled.
Machi.
We all got
So-
jumbled up on the overlay.
I was about to say, yeah, the overlay. Like, are we right on the screen where the people can see, or is it right even? Oh, you know what? I said we were going to do a break at about the 90-minute mark anyway. So here on the brink
Ooh,
of going to war with
tension.
the Empyreans, since we have a technical snafu we need to fix anyway. Let's take. a
There we
quick
go.
10. We will recalibrate. None of us here hang up, so we can get it all back there. I think just somebody's internet choked, and when they winked, it all went bleh. So quick 10. We're gonna put our faces back, even though I don't have any problem with being. Who am I now over there? Oh.
You're still you.
You're still you.
Okay.
Yeah, you're in the same
It's-
You didn't change.
The rest
I'm
of you-
Maylee.
There you go. The rest of you are polymorphing. Here we
Kelly.
go. You know?
Lee is me.
There it is. Like it's like alter self. Yeah. All right. So quick 10. We'll be right back. And again, I'm sure this is gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. There's gonna be none minimal murder. All right. We'll be back in 10 minutes, y'all. See you in a minute. So this is another one of those times. Again, production gave me every warning. Countdown, whole thing. They were like, "You're gonna be live," and I'm like, "Yeah, cool. Now is when I'll take a dramatic sip of coffee." So yes, apologies there. We had a tiny little tech snafu that we had to sort through. And I would point out, if we make it to $16,750 tonight, which is a little under $100, I think we will raffle a $100 Hero Forge gift card. So if you've seen the super sweet color options that are coming out in those things, this will be an opportunity for you to get in there and partake. So if you can, please donate to help us make it to the next level in our adventure. Speaking of the next level in our adventure, we had Vindley and Nasira had both wild shaped and polymorphed into birds and descended on the town to go and defend them by hand. Armina was rolling persuasion to see if you could get him to talk, although I do not recall what your number was or if I heard it. You were
I
just
don't even
trying.
think I got to roll it.
I don't think you do, because we were inadvertently booted. So let's roll it now to see.
Persuasion, which is a +10.
I believe in you.
I don't believe in me. I'm definitely re-rolling that one, and I'm not telling you what it was.
Using your no, okay, all right, it's fine. That's what it's for. I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog too. Yeah,
Dirty 20.
dirty 20. I appreciate you. Like,
Nice.
hey, you're like, hey, so buddy,
You know what?
hey, so buddy.
Listen. You know what it is? It's Madeline Kahn in the history of the world going, Bob. And she's wait, Bob. Bob.
He does put the maul back down again into the dirt, and he looks like he's about to start monologuing. When he does this, Alomis, Monsoon, and Darkeesian and Candle, what are you all doing? As you see, these other 5 are making their way down the mountain, and he very much is like, well, what do you all do?
So Darcassian tries to furtively open up one of his bags of ball bearings, and he's fitting to cast animate objects on 10 of those ball bearings, because I took a straw poll in chat and they said fight Empyreans, so that's what Darcassian is going to do. So
Chat, why do you hate us?
that's what chat wanted.
It's
You
the
know.
more it is the moral high ground. That is the kind of things that I do, y'all. And just pro tip, since now we're here deciding to engage the Empyreans, a lot of times people are like, how do you make level 20 games interesting? Because you don't make it about what you can do, you make it about what you should do. Yes. The power is not the hard part. How to apply it is the hard part.
Is.
Yeah. So you're gonna animate object on the ball bearings?
Yes, I am.
I would, and presumably to make it roll over in front of their faces.
Yeah, so
Or their feet, you know what I
I am going to I'm going to cast it this turn with my action and just kind of have them sitting in the bag. I know we're not in initiative yet, but basically my plan next turn is I'm just going to charge this fool and with my bonus action have them fly out and help me to take him down.
That is the plan. Got it. What is Monsoon doing here? I appreciate it's almost like Amina has no idea that any of this is about to happen, and you guys are like, cool.
Yes, this is an in-character facial expression right now.
No, nobody knows
He's
yet.
like,
this has all been secret.
I've been betrayed by my fellow good creatures. Also, for the sake of the internet, Empyreans are chaotic good or neutral good. They are not lawful good, but they are good. Because I realize there's some people out there.
Prejudiced as heck, apparently, but
that is true. What is Monsoon doing during?
I'm going to get out my instruments of the bard and start rapping a pretty sweet beat on my drum, and I'm going to from it cast fly and follow my compatriots who have taken to the skies already down to the village.
Amina hears the drum beat and everything. She goes.
As they all just sort of like step off the mountain.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you're Homer Simpson into the bushes, but it's clouds. Like it's where Candle has the wind still. Like
a candle in the wind, maybe.
Like a candle in the wind. Speaking of, what is Candle doing? It's too soon. It's been like 30 years.
It's always too soon.
I'm going to cast message, and I'm going to message Ilonus and ask him, do you have this? Both of you. Can you take him on?
We got this. Absolutely.
Okay. And I'm gonna cast teleport.
I love your face right now, Kelly.
Yeah,
we got this.
I feel like you're not even noticing that one by one. They're just
really trying not to metagame right now.
Yeah, like
I
the
know
Avengers.
How hard these guys are to beat.
The Avengers are springing into action over here, and you're like, cool, great, K, hi, yes. And what is where are you teleporting to, Candle?
I'm going to teleport right in front of the other 5 Empyreans that are just hanging out.
All right. Well, they are making their way down the mountain. So presumably you're trying to further down the mountain, but outside the village. Between them and the village is the goal.
Correct. Yes.
Right? Okay. Amina, he's like, well, I don't know if you've heard the story of the legendary 6-armed steed Greg with 13 eyes. And meanwhile, in the village, you all land and do you turn back, or do you sort of survey it a little bit in your bird forms before you reveal what you are? Because as of now, you're just birds.
I would like to survey first.
You can give me, both of you can give me perception, and you can give me perception with advantage because you got bird eyes, you're flying around, you got a good vantage point.
I would like to use one of those wild card rerolls. We didn't actually give those out to anyone, did we?
You know what? Fate just gave one of them to you there. There you go. Yep, so another one down.
I'm actually going to use one of mine because both of my dice rolled not that well as well.
All right. So, hey, Chad, if you want them to actually have rerolls when they go into battle here momentarily for the greater good.
And that was a natural 20, so it was worth
it.
There you go. I got a 19.
Well, as you are flying around, you do see what Darkesian saw again. They are orcs, kobolds, bugbears. But as you kind of get a closer look, especially with your natural 20, you realize that there's not a lot of ones that look like overtly just like warrior types. Like they look older. Some of them look like matronly. Even this like large menacing bugbear that's sort of hulking around. When you get close, there's definitely like gray patches in its fur, and it's kind of like scarred up. Like it's clear that it's sort of seen its better days. As you're going overhead, you see there's what looks like a nursery with like little orcs and little goblins inside, just sort of like playing and like wrestling with each other. It looks like it's a normal village. you know.
Do I see anyone that like in particular looks like a guard or someone in charge of anything?
With a natural 20, I would say yes. You see, they do kind of have like some people up on the walls watching. Also, I've been told we were at $16,666.66, which, don't get me wrong, a big part of me wants to halt all donations right now and be done with it. But there's one thing that is greater than my commitment to evil, and that is my commitment to charity. So yes, please continue donating. But I see you, internet. I see you. What's up, demons? It's me, your boy. Yes, there are some ones that are like kind of standing by the gates with spears and things watching, but again, they by no means seem like they're on high alert, and they seem absolutely oblivious to the like walking death machines that are moseying down the mountain that you very clearly can see. Because again, they're not yelling and screaming; they really are just like, "Yep, we're gonna go smash some goblin heads." You know,
I would like to fly up to one of the guards and kind of like tug on his chainmail with my beak like towards the direction to get his attention towards the direction where they're marching towards them.
And I'll just fly up there, be like,
Hey, you bird, stop pulling on cape. Chili, you stop. You stop at me and new birds for dinner.
I'm gonna change back to myself and just go, "What you look?" and point back at them.
There's two of them. One of them like drops his spear and jumps backwards. The other one, with a natural 20, has an astonishing insight into what's happening here and looks right at you and goes,
"Hey, you Nasira, you're the one they tell them stories about, right? They talk about you. They say you got the big horns and the muscles. What are you doing here?"
I'm gonna grab him by the shoulders and turn him around and face him towards the guys who are marching down the mountain, and I'm gonna go, "You have one job."
You see he very much like tenses up because he's a big burly dude, and of course you lift him like he doesn't weigh a pound, Nasira. So much so, this is rather conspicuous when you notice it, Vindley, because he's not a small orc, and she's just like, cool. And he's like,
oh no.
And from down in the village, you hear, just a lot of activity starts happening down in the village. You see some of them are running into buildings and like shuttering them, like children are being to like rooted into like storm shelters and things of that nature. You see as they're walking down, one of the Empyreans just like points a finger and a bolt of lightning comes out and is like boom and destroys a building completely. Just like timbers go in all different directions and flames erupt. And you see they're like ducking and running, and all of the rest of you realize that the fit has officially hit the shan. Roll initiative. I appreciate Amina's like, yeah, cool.
Before I roll initiative.
Yes.
Small question for the DM.
Proceed.
If I was to say use my level 20 class ability, would it combine? Dog, don't bark. Would it combine?
That's him
possibly
telling you to do it. He's like, do it
with my eyes of charming.
Well,
my eyes are perfectly charming. Shut up, husband.
Explain to me what the level 20 Bard College of Opera ability is.
It's more fun if I just do it narratively.
Then,
but I will copy it into chat for you.
You know what? If you cash in one of your rerolls, as I deplete your resources here, I will let you make this happen.
Mad scientist B. Dave
Do
Walters.
Do we still?
We know the chat will give us more rerolls. We know that they will.
Monster would present you with a sadistic choice to get rid of your rerolls before.
Fine, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you competing with Chris Perkins? B. Dave?
No,
just trying to be the most terrible.
It's for the children. Yes, please.
For the children.
First off, so people know what the Eyes of Charming is, that I have. The Eyes of Charming, while wearing them, I can expend one charge as an action to cast Charm Person on a humanoid within 30 feet of you. What I would like to do, can Bob assuming he can hear me with the wind.
He can, because Candle redirected it. Although Candle, did that stop once you left? Or
Yeah, it probably would have.
Either way, he's close. I mean,
It's
you're
a
still
good thing I
basically
don't
at
need
his feet.
microphones.
Yeah, no, you can hear him.
So, what I would like to do before I actually do the thing, can Bob please make a charisma saving throw?
Oh no, the camera went wonk.
No, what? I did nothing.
I think.
No.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Bailey
Yes.
has become Mike.
I'm Kelly again.
Again. I'm like, there it is. It's all. This was the 23 skidoo you guys are running on the Empyreans. Everybody switch places.
I'm not allowed to use chat. That's what it is.
That's,
Every time I go to chat, it shuts my camera off.
Yes, that is that we have discovered that she's not ignoring you, Chad. It's just if she tries to talk to you, it ruins everything. So there you go. I don't know what the donation.
I meant our in-game Zoom chat. Believe it or not.
She means backstage
really?
chat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like I legit can't use our chat. Yeah.
Oh no! Apparently, the smoke signals. You know, like we'll use bird calls. You're like ha-ka, ha-ka.
Dookie dookie.
Legit, no lie, and maybe it was just the umbrage of being compared to Perkins, but he got a big old 1 on his save. So he's got eyes like dinner plates. Right
Okay, well, no, that's
you have a reroll.
So wait, that's not just the charm.
Mm.
Isn't what happens. What he's going to hear. Lee, don't lean forward like that. What he's going to hear. Come with me, come with me, come with me, sweet Bob. You'll be a man, you'll join our clan. Come with me, I'll make you glad. I now own his soul for the next 24 hours.
He just sort of like kneels and like puts the hammer out in front of you.
Like
and
I legit
says,
own his soul and I've charmed him. So I'm going to pat him very nicely on the cheek and tell him to go destroy his friends.
Ooh.
He stands up and he looks at them and he's like, I understand. I've been wrong this entire time.
You have been
like,
so wrong, Bob.
now roll initiative.
I told you we got this.
We got it here. Some of them. Okay, hang on. Oh, I got some of you in here. So for Vindley, was that, since I won't make you re-roll it because that's a 20. Was it a natural 20 or a dirty 20?
Dirty.
Dirty 20. Okay. Wait.
Natural
yes, Amina.
1 on my initiative.
You were so proud of yourself. That's why that you were like, aha, I've done a thing. And then boom, 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 boom.
And
You're
now
like,
we'll go tomorrow.
I know, you're like, everyone look at the thing I did. And they're all like, rah.
Oh.
They all left us anyway.
You're not last this round. You're first in round 2. That's fine. All right. So
Nice
Amina
way to look at it.
with a big old 1. Let me see here. Nasira, what did you get?
It's 24.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
24. Okay. Alonis. I know some
14.
of you put this in chat, but it's easier for me if I minimize and just do this. Darkeesian.
I get a 15. So did Candle, and I opted to have Candle go first unless he really doesn't want to.
All right. Well, technically, you two will act simultaneously. He can declare first, but it will happen at the same time.
Sure.
Monsoon.
18.
18. Bob will go when Amina goes. She moves slow with that big old Bob.
Takes a while to convince him, just to like remind him what he needs.
It is true. It is true. The other Empyreans got them. Amina, if you like, you can actually pull up the Empyrean stat block. If you like, and you will have access to the things that he can do. The rest of you don't read it because it's meta. Nasira, you first see them. You see everything is sort of like happening as everyone is moving into action. What would you like to do? You very much hear, by the way, Hazaran speaks to you again, and he says to you, Nasira, I told you there'd be violence.
How far away are the guys that are coming down the mountain?
They are still some distance because they were basically just moseying down. They're about 200 feet even before you move. And you also see Candle has appeared between you and them. But so far, they seem completely calm, even the one that just like blasted the others. And you can see from further up the fact that Bob is approaching them with his hammer in his hand, but it's actually not clear to you from this vantage point that he's about to attack them. He just as likely could be like joining up the warband.
Oh, I just pulled up the stat block.
Are they further than
Empyreans
100?
are a thing. They are further than 100 feet. However, you could move to get within
150.
If you move, you could get there.
All right, yeah, I would like to move to get 150 feet.
Okay, you kind of would essentially, you'd be like up on the walls of this, like the sharpened wooden posts essentially of this outpost, kind of like perch up there, and you would be within 150 feet of them.
Are my friends far enough away from them for me to cast Fireball without hitting my friends?
Yes, you could drop a fireball on them that would just hit them and not hit any of your people. Yep.
Oh yes, I would like to do that.
All right. You are going to drop a fireball. Let me take a quick peek at your sheet here. Again, you guys, I sort of ambushed her with this character a couple of days ago for our other game and kind of made something I thought she would enjoy, which she did. But because of that, it's all complicated. And even I lost track of some of the things I put on there. And also, because I am a professional, I lost the link to her sheet. So GG. I don't think you have any ranged melee attacks, right? Because you are a high-ranking Valor Bard, you can both cast a spell and still do a melee attack, but I don't think you have any ranged weapons, correct?
I do not have any ranged weapons.
I don't think. Yep. Okay, so it's pure fireball on them. Okay. What is the save that they need to make to for that?
A Dex 19.
Okay.
As we're out of rerolls, feel free to donate. So the only one I
That's
think who has
true.
one left is our DM.
Scotty will be
mean,
standing in for the Empyrean. He is
I don't know
obviously
what
built for it.
I don't know what you're talking about. Again, what sort of monster would use a reroll? You see as the beam of the fireball comes out as this small pellet of flame that just hit and erupts. 2 of them do dodge to the left and right, but 3 of them are just completely flat-footed and just like boom explodes right over the group. So just roll that damage and let me know when you have it. Next is Vindley, and then it will be Candle and Darkeesian, who actually act simultaneously.
I'm at 18.
Oh, sorry. I missed somebody then. Who's at 18? I apologize. Monsoon, I don't have you anywhere on my list. I apologize.
That's right.
Monsoon, 18. So Vindley, then Monsoon, then Candle and Darkeesian simultaneously, then Alonis. What is Vindley going to do?
In bird form, I'm going to move as far as I can with movement as the bird to get close.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to cast Call Lightning at 3rd level, whilst in bird form, because I'm a 20th level druid, guys.
Hey.
And I don't have to change out. So I'm going to cast Call Lightning around the Empyreans, and I will try and strike the one that Nasira went after.
Yeah, basically 3 of them took it square in the face and 2 got out of the way. So you're going to go after one of those injured ones?
One of the injured ones, yep.
All right. What? Oh, well, it does not make it save either way. Yep. So.
3d10 lightning. I just did it at 3rd level, so. So that's 16 points of lightning damage if he failed.
He did. So 16 points. Got it. Nasir, did you have your number there? Sorry.
43 for me.
43. Waboom. All right. Minus 43. Minus. Sorry. What was that again? One more time. Vindley.
16.
16. Got it. Cool. Got to keep track of all these separate health pools. And then, Those dudes are here and here. Got it. Okay, Monsoon. Was that it? Was that it for Vindley?
Yeah, and I'm just gonna keep the spell up under concentration for now.
Okay. Yes, Monsoon.
So, in light of all the sweet bardic action we're seeing here, I'm going to try to join. I'm banging away on my drum, flying. And so, am I down to where my other two compatriots, former birds, formerly known as birds, are now down to the village? Am I close enough to the Hyperions, or not? Where am I?
Again, because you are flying anyway, so you can be wherever you would like to be, honestly.
That's the answer I was looking for. I appreciate that. So I'm going to get close enough within 60 feet and cast mass suggestion.
Okay. What are you going to suggest to them?
Well, I'm going to suggest that today is not the day. Your leader seems to have broken ranks, and this is technically not a good day to attack this village. Break off the attack.
All right. What save do they need to beat to make that happen?
Individually, DC 19 wisdom saves.
Hold on 1 second here. Well, no, I'll let this go through first. Do they need to beat a 19, you say?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Unless they can't be charmed, and I know that's not true based on what we've already seen.
Okay.
Or maybe I'm just that heckin' charming.
That could be. I'm not
Heckin' sweet.
You have to sacrifice a reroll. Maybe that's the key.
They all pass the save.
Wow. Okay.
And one of them turns and looks towards. Actually, all of them react here. One of them flings a javelin at you.
Sweet.
Monsoon. What's your armor class?
21.
21?
Yep.
It misses. It is like you didn't even see it. It was like electricity just went flying past you. Another one throws one at you and misses as well. One of them you see just starts raising his hands and just goes, and the other four just sort of go like all of that peace and like calmness you saw is completely gone from them.
I'm just making a suggestion, guys. Take it easy, man.
And the other ones, one flings one of his javelins at you, Vindley. What's your armor class?
As a bird, I'm at a big fat 13. Woo!
It's just like getting hit with a phone pole, Vindley. It just like hits you square for 24 points of damage.
Okay, cool. I'm still a bird.
Of pure lightning, like zzz, and another one throws one at you, Nasira, and misses completely wide, like super wide, like embarrassingly wide. Doesn't even hit anything else in the village. Like
I
also
stand up and look at it, and I make raspberries.
Also, we're almost at 17 now, y'all. I know I said we'd do something at 18, but even at 17, we'll make something fun happen here. You can do it. Yes. No.
I'm tossed between like donate, and like.
You're like, but maybe don't though. Okay, Candle and Darkeesian, you both act simultaneously, but Candle can declare first.
Certainly. Standing in front of these Empyreans, I realize that they don't seem to take us seriously. So there's only one way I think I can get them to take us seriously. And I raise my hands above the sky, and gray clouds begin to swirl. And in the distance, you can hear thunder, even though there's seemingly no lightning. Suddenly, one thunder crack and another crack, and suddenly 9 thunder cracks just happen out of anything. But as quickly as they sound, they just get pulled. You just hear of the sound being pulled into me, and I release it, and I am casting Disintegrate at 9th level.
Ooh.
So as sure as
Disintegrate.
Indeed.
Spicy.
So it's a good thing there's a dice roller. So
what is
give me
the dex save that they need?
Dex save is 19.
You see it does dive out of the way as the disintegrate basically like grazes it, but still like blows a significant chunk off of its side. Roll that damage and give it to me when you have it. And Darkesian.
So I was not as far away as the folks down in the village.
Mhm.
How far are the other Empyreans away from me?
But you were still up there near Bob initially, correct? You
Right.
did not move. I'd say they're
Correct.
about 60 feet away.
60 feet. Mhm.
Actually, one thing happens before you do that. One of the Empyreans slams the ground with his hammer, the one that you just hit with the disintegrate candle, and a shockwave goes through the ground. Give me a strength saving throw.
Got it. Quick question.
Yes.
Is the damage type, give me 1 second here. Is the damage type lightning or thunder?
It is not.
Okay.
It is physically an earthquake down the side of the
Oh.
mountain.
Wow. Well, the most perfect time to roll that nat 20. However, that still means I have a 19.
Even though you've got a minus, I'm going to give it to you on the natural 20. You see this shockwave coming your direction, and you basically just like hop over it as it like out your direction. But you do see it starts to knock rocks and boulders that were on the mountain ajar, and they start rolling down towards the town. Now, sorry, Darkesian.
Yeah.
Legendary actions, yeah.
Legendary actions. Look at
Although
you.
I know I'm complicating things here, but also be advised, Amina, that Bob also has legendary actions that he can be acting, that he can use after they act as well.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because I don't DM very much. So I'm like, when can I do this?
Yep. It's after someone else acts.
Okay.
Yep. At the end of another creature's turn. So when anyone else does something, he can do something. Up to three.
Of those three things at those
Yep.
three choices.
Yep. 3 total. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So just like they're doing stuff, he could be doing stuff.
Okay.
So
yes,
60 feet away.
Yes.
I'm just gonna get there. I'm gonna Misty Step 30 feet up. And then actually I'm gonna charge first and then Misty Step because that's a much cooler image.
Mhm.
So I'm running Holy Avenger like dragging behind me. And Darkesian, because he's a Hexblade, he's using charisma to attack instead of strength. So you see he's got noodly arms.
Like,
and he's just dragging this sword behind him, and then he just appears in front of the Superior and starts swinging, even though it doesn't look like he could lift that thing above his head. So I am going to make some attacks.
All right. I wasn't due anybody else's damage that we were rolling, right? By the way, thank you, Wormwood, for joining us, playing a little level 20 D&D for Jasper's game day. $100 for a re-roll if we break 17. Something delicious is going to happen, but it's going to be fine. I'm going to have a great time no matter what. Yeah.
Did you catch that 53 points of force damage?
I did not.
Yeah. So it was halved. I was kind of wishing he didn't because it would have been 106 points of damage. But
that is a significant chunk, and you blow a big hole out of him. Like you can see, like there's daylight through the other side of him, which he like looks down and just holds on to it, and that's when he hits you with the earth trimmer. Yes, I did not catch that. Thank you very much.
So I'm going to go after that one who's got a big hole blown out of him.
Yeah, there is one that is significantly damaged. Yes.
All right. 2 swings. I've got a 25 to hit and then a 27 to hit.
Those are both enough to hit it.
Excellent. So with the first strike of this Holy Avenger, I got 19 damage.
Okay.
And then another 11 after that. And my bag of ball bearings is just vibrating intensely They're like, I wish you had another bonus action. Just let us out. But next turn. It's
true.
That's me.
Soon,
my precious.
When you go to hit it, it hits you, swings back at you. What is your AC?
Talking about 19. Adamantine armor, so crits need not apply.
Excellent. It swings and just smashes into you with its hammer. Give me a con check.
Sure.
Con save.
Yeah. 25.
That is enough. It hits you for 31 points of damage, and your bell is very much rung. But you stay up on your feet. Yes.
I also need to make a concentration check on my animate objects.
Yes, to see whether or not you drop it. Alonus, it is your turn, and then after that, it is the Empyrean's turn.
Alonus is going to kind of see what Amina has done, and is going to kind of crouch down and put his hand on the mountain and just be engulfed in this large purple light as two large fey saber-toothed tigers appear next to him.
Nice.
And he's going to look at each of them and say, "Get him," as they go rushing off towards the those dudes. And those dudes conjure animals at a 5th level.
Okay. Can they attack in the first round that they've been summoned? Does it specify?
They get added to the initiative, so however you want to add them to the initiative.
I will say that they will act when you act, but they will act next turn. Just keeps things simpler.
Yep.
Okay. Groovy. All right. The Empyreans are doing their thing now. And they are very cross with all of you. The first thing, you see one of them, you see it just holds its hand out, and everything around you guys, all under the village, starts shaking. As an earthquake hits the town. Nasira, give me a dex save. Actually, Nasira, Candle, Darkeesian, all give me, actually it's 500 feet, so all of you, everybody give me dex saves. The entire mountain starts shaking, all the way down to the village.
And I would have to wait until the end of that to do the thing.
Yes, to do your legendary action. Those of you that are flying don't. So right now, I believe it is only Monsoon that is still flying, and Vindley that is flying, because Nasira landed to do what she did. So everybody else, give me a dex save.
Do I have any rerolls left?
I don't know.
3
Internet
that weren't given.
Oh, there you go. Then yes, feel free to use them. Yes.
I got a 29 on my deck save.
A 29 is enough for you to save. Yes.
Is this
the number you all are looking to beat is 23.
Oh, I still only got a 19.
Is this a magical effect?
It is. It is a magical spell. It is Earthquake.
Neat. Into it.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say that DC was?
23.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah, so don't laugh. Yeah, don't laugh at me. I had to count on my fingers. I went to music school.
It beats like that. Yep.
So Bob does not make his dex save at 22.
With his spaghetti legs.
Amina jumps on top of his shoulder and is perfectly fine.
Be advised, Bob does have legendary resistance up to 3 times a day.
Oh, he does have legendary resistance. Okay.
He can choose to just pass if he wants.
Okay, yeah, he chooses to pass because he thinks they're a bunch of asshats.
You, those Nasira and Vindley being down in the town, you and not Monsoon, Candle, you're close enough that you can catch it. Everything is like starting to fall apart. Like you can see, like none of these structures are like earthquake proof, and you start hearing the screams of the little orc and goblin children that thought they were safe inside of their little like schoolhouse is very much shaking and going to come down on their heads. That was one of the Empyreans. Another one just swings at you again, Darkesian.
I am prone.
Oh, yes, because you fell flat.
Yes, I failed. I assume that's what happens, right?
Yes, that earthquake just knocks you down. That is the only thing it the legendary trembling shake just knocks you down. Earthquake,
Nice.
the spell, does all sorts of other things.
Right.
Yes, so you are prone. Hits you for 31 points of damage, and give me a con save. You need to beat a 15.
All right.
Nasira, one of them throws a harpoon at you from some distance. What is your AC?
Good on your con save.
Okay.
15.
It does hit you, Nasira, for 24 points of lightning damage.
Also still concentrating.
Yeah. I do not like these creatures.
Yeah, they're a little stabby.
One throws a javelin at Vindley. What was Vindley's AC again? Sorry.
Oh, it's a 13 because I'm a bird.
Temporarily.
Temporarily.
You for 24 points of lightning damage.
Not a bird.
Sea spurred state, huh?
So how many points? 20?
24.
Okay, so that rolls over.
Okay, and you come plummeting out of the sky and like collapse on the ground that is beginning to shake violently all over the place. One of them, so that is 3 of them. One of them throws a bolt at Monsoon. He definitely hits. Also for 24 points of lightning damage.
Okay.
And one throws a bolt at you, Amina, also for 24 points of lightning damage.
And there's no dodging of that, right?
No, that was an attack on their part.
Oh, fine.
Now, so again, with the legendary resistance for Bob, that he can do this when any creature acts, not just enemies. So his allies can do something, and he can legendary act if you so.
No,
choose.
I understand, and I know what I'm going to have him do.
Okay, got it. So that is it for the Empyreans. So if you wanted him to legendary act, you could do it now, because then it is your turn and his turn.
So can I have him go first and then me go first?
Okay, yep.
Okay, so
Sure can.
Bob
He
is
needs
going
to spend his movement to get up.
Yes,
but then,
his movement is a bit. So is he at least, is he within 25 feet of like one of his bros?
Definitely.
Okay, definitely the one that's already been hit a bit.
The
thing that Candle did.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna attack him. Let's see here. Oh dear God, I just read his to hit. Oh my God.
Now you understand why they're laying into everybody. Yep.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. Yeah. Don't spoil it for him, internet.
I'm
But
not.
Feel free to read the Empyrean stat block.
I know that hits him 28 because I'm looking at his thing. 66. Okay, so this is when I would like to have a virtual dice roller, and I don't actually have one.
Well, you can roll it and then give it to me afterwards. Okay. Well, what does he need to save? Does he have a save? What did you do to him?
He's just gonna attack him.
Oh, okay.
And he does have to succeed on a DC 15 con save.
Hang on. Oh, maybe he didn't. They got a truckload of con. Let's see. He does not make it.
Haha, sucks to be you.
Yep. So is that to stun him or to do something else?
That stuns him until the end of the Empyrean's next turns.
Yep. So all next round, basically.
And I am going to, because I got a
Bob
virtual dice roll.
very much smashes the guy, and he stumbles over. Yep.
And that is going to be because of course when I rolled multiple ones. That is going to be 29 points of damage to him.
All right. Got it.
Okay.
Got it. He is not looking too good. He's very much up and fighting, but he's looking pretty beat up and shot and burned.
Amina's feeling kind of full of herself. What with this stuff. And even though Kelly knows this doesn't do much, she's really full of herself. She's going to viciously mock the one that has just been stunned. Kelly hasn't gotten to sing this in a year, so this is going to be fun. I am the very model of a bard who's going to kick your ass. I'll do it with my wit and charm and maybe just a touch of sass. My friends are very good with swords and daggers, just to name a few, but I'm the only one of us who hurts you just by mocking you. And I'm going to roll that, which is, oh dear God, I'm not used to D&D Beyond. Okay, 44.
I was about to say, I think you're 44. Yep.
44.
But I mean, you can talk killer greasiness to people all along. Yep.
And that's going to be 11 whole damage, but she's going to look very proud of herself while she does it.
I mean, you see it looks visibly wounded by the things you've said to it. As it sits there, stunned. I am just stunned.
Okay, one question. Who is next at the top of the turn order?
We would be back to the top with Nasira. It'd be Nasira's turn.
Nasira was nice to me. She will point at Nasira, and I'm going to give you bardic inspiration.
Hey, is that a D12 from you, or are
It's
you
a
at
D12.
Yep. So again, that is an extra D12 that you can use once to add to any attack roll, save, or such thing.
I'm not done.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me.
Because I have to sing bardic inspiration for her.
College of Offers overpowered, but okay, yeah.
Go, ye heroes, go to glory, though you die in combat gory. We shall live in song and story. Go to immortality, go to death and go to slaughter. Die and every elven daughter, with their tears our graves will water. Go, ye heroes, go and die. There you go. You're inspired.
When she sings that, you hear Hazaran say, "That's actually quite lovely."
Thank you, Alan Rickman. I love you too. So then I'm going to have Bob take his legendary action after Amina's turn, because
Excellent.
that means it's going to go the entire round again, which was my plan all along. Bob is going to do something to bolster all of you. I don't know what he would sound like if he sang, so he's not going to sing. He's going to bolster all non-hostile creatures. So all of you, all of us, within 120 feet of it, with I think is all of us, until the end of his next turn, you can't be charmed or frightened, and you gain advantage on ability checks and saving throws until the end of his next turn.
Yeah, that's basically we hit everybody but Nasira and Vindley, because they are down in the town properly. Yep. Beautiful. Yes. Especially because basically now Bob is like, and you guys are like,
That's great, Bob.
Everybody on the mountain's like, it's like the earthquake is shaking here. You do see, Nasira, as it is your turn again. The village is collapsing. Again, you hear people screaming inside of the buildings like the ground is starting to crack. Like, you very much are aware of the fact this town will shake down to its foundations and be destroyed.
How far away am I from the building that had the kids in it?
You could get to it in one movement.
I would like to do that, and I would like to hold up the roof and tell them all to get out.
You are, again, incredibly strong, Nasira. So you have advantage on a strength check anyway, and you can roll it, and then you can decide if you add your D12 to it or not. You can roll the dice, see what's on the dice, but before you tell me, decide if you're going to add your 12 to it or not.
I am. Because both of those were absolutely terrible. And exactly the same. So let's see. And that comes out to a 28.
Vindley, as you are picking yourself up off the ground here in Furbolg form, you see this very slight tiefling like go running into this building where all of these children are, and she reaches under one of the timbers and just lifts it up, and they come scrambling out of it. Again, they're very much on spaghetti leg because the earthquake is still happening. But you see her pick up the roof of this school and hold it up over her head, almost like it's nothing.
Wow. I give like a nod, like that's impressive. That's surprisingly impressive.
You're like, I see you.
Got things.
Vindley, it is your turn. Again, the children are running out. You see people that had immediately gone into their homes for safety are coming back out again, and kind of like confused out in the. Oh, sorry, Vindley.
Do I not have the ability to use my bonus action as well?
Yeah, what do you want to do with it?
I would also like to give Bardic Inspiration.
Inspiration chain. Yes. Who are you going to give it to?
Who is close enough within me, within my range right now that I can hit with it? That looks like they need the most help. Okay.
Vindley, in the current state, she's the only one you can see because you are in this place, essentially holding it up while the children are escaping.
Got you. Okay, then yes, I would like to give a Bardic Inspiration to Vindley.
Thank you.
Okay. When you look up and you're like, yeah, okay, I see what you're doing there. You feel like bolstered in your own right. Also, he's earned the treats. He has not gotten his fair share of the take here.
I know.
I mean, look at that face. He knows he was entitled to num num.
He tried to eat my Kit Kats. He can wait.
Do I not also get to sing mine?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Please, yes.
That's the rules.
Oh,
okay.
No.
Yeah,
Do this as I listen because I know something good is going to happen.
I was considering giving Bardic Inspiration. That made my mind up. Go ahead.
She looks at Vindley and she looks up like towards where the rest of the enemies were coming, and you just kind of like you can see that her eyes and her heartbeat start to kind of like beat to a rhythm, and she just looks at you and goes, "You're a marked man, brother, you're a marked man, hey, and get right down on your knees and pray, and thank the Lord I don't have my way. You're a marked man, brother, you're a marked man."
And you get your 1d10 and you hear Hazaron say, "You know we're going to die here and be buried in this place, but that was definitely lovely to be remembered by."
I know there was a song about you, buddy.
Vindley,
I hate to break the fourth wall here, but Dave, please, at some point, can you just have her weapon say he's going to cut someone's heart out with a spoon, just for me?
First of all, there may be some donation tier that we arrive at.
We've arrived at our over 17,000.
Yeah, we're well over 17
grand.
Oh, okay, all right. But see, I can't do it now. Now it's weird. Like it's got to like the right.
Yeah, I don't want a giant dragon to join us or something terrifying, but
Are you?
It's
definitely need dragons.
My mother is very sad there's not many dragons in Dungeons and Dragons.
I mean,
Not a lot of dungeons either.
No, that was her complaint. She is very sad.
You guys have just been going to the wrong places. Yes, Vindley, you get your 1d10 there. What are you going to do?
well, first I think to myself, strong and can sing, not terrible. And then I immediately I kind of give like look at Nasira and give her like a thumbs up, like you good. And then I turn into an air elemental and I'm going in the direction of the Empyreans. I can get 90 feet as just my movement of fly speed.
Yeah, you can get close enough to attack for sure.
Okay, so then once I actually am close enough, I will take my 2 attacks, my 2 slam attacks. And I have a question for you, DM. Would you let me add my proficiency to my attacks as a water element or as an air elemental, or regular, just straight rolls?
Yeah, you can add it.
Okay.
You still know what's up.
So that is a, oh my gosh, 26 on one attack and 29 on the other attack.
That is enough to hit him.
gather all the dice that I need for this party.
All of the dice. Yeah. Just tell me the number when you got it. Are you going after the one that has already been injured?
The one that had the giant hole in it that looked real messed up.
One is like really, really, really beat badly. One is beat moderately, and the two of them have like basically barely been scratched. Yeah.
I would like to destroy one. If we can get one killed, that's my dream right now.
Go for it. After that happens, you give me your number, but it is going to throw a harpoon at you, back at you. When you hit it, it hits you back for 31. And give me a con save.
All right.
Your thing definitely happens. This is its legendary action in Retribution.
That's totally, I respect that. This
the bang bang.
Oh, natural 20.
Hey, you know?
23 total.
You're ready this time. Like, you're like, nope, psych. Yeah. You're like, I am inspired now.
I've heard beautiful music and watched someone hold up a building. Same person, actually. Let's do this.
It's true. No, Nasira's full service like that. That's how the stories get spread. You know, like you do notice, Nasira, the kids as they're scrambling out are kind of looking back at you like, whoa, you know, she's the strongest tiefling ever, you know, coming out of the building.
I say to them, I'm like, stay in school, kids. Stay in school.
Not this one.
You
right
said
now.
get out of the school. We're going to die. Yes.
Oh no, not this one. Just when you get out of here. Any of them.
Oh yes. You, Nasira, you see during this a couple of the old bugbears are like coming in here and trying to help you hold it up. They're only about 6 feet tall, but their arms reach about 7 feet. Like their arms are like unnaturally long. Are trying to help you prop up the roof in here.
31 points of damage, by the way.
31, perfect. Yeah.
Even
one of them looks at you and is like, go, we'll handle this.
All right, you got it. And she'll dart out and keep an eye on Vindley.
All right, perfect. Okay, then it is going to be Monsoon, and after that, Kendall and Darkeesian simultaneously.
How tall exactly are these fellows? 18 feet?
I think they're 30 feet. Let me double check. It doesn't say. They're huge, though. So, I mean, they're at least 30 feet tall. I mean, they're gigantic. I mean, well, not gigantic. They're huge. It's a different size category. They're very, very, very big, though.
That's the number I was not looking for. So it's okay. I will fly towards the closest one and attack with my rapier.
Okay.
Just do some smiting here. Both are more than 30 on the die, both attacks. So I assume
that is enough to hit.
All right. So I'm going to do a smite.
Are you after the injured one also?
Yes, I am. Okay.
Everybody pummeling this poor guy who just wants to go down here and cleanse the plains of all evil.
23 points of damage.
All right, 23.
And then I'm going to deliver Bardic Inspiration, but I'm not that kind of bard. I'm a lore master bard. So instead, I will give Darkeesian inspiration by lecturing on the subject of proper jury empanelment, about how many jurors you should have, what peremptory strikes look like. It depends on how many parties are in the courtroom and so on. That's how I deliver.
Not even like beat poetry. You're not gonna be like, just like, man, like don't be square, man. You brought the drums, not
I suppose. No, I do my best to do that, and you get a D10 the same way, same fun.
Thank you.
It swings back with its hammer and smashes into you. This thing is fighting like a lion. It hits you for 31 points of damage. And give me a DC 15 con save there, Monsoon.
I save.
You all, you are knocked, you fly back basically, but like gather yourself. And you all notice everything around them. This looked like a fairly desolate mountainside, but there was the odd flower, things like that. You know, everything is dying. As they've started to get angry, all the plants are wilting. It looks like the rocks are starting to melt a little bit. Everything is still very much shaking with the earthquake. In fact, some of those rocks smash into the walls of the town, but they do not smash through. They're just like boom, bam, boom, 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 and people continue screaming. You can see the jovial manner of the Empyreans is absolutely gone. Like, whereas before they were very much like, hey. Now they're like, as they're coming, still continuing with this battle. It is now Candle and Darkeesian simultaneously.
Would you like to go first this time?
Sure. I'll go first. I use my bonus action as my minor army of ball bearings is just ready and rearing to go, and I let him out. I will send 3 at the one that's got a big hole blown through him, and then how many other Empyreans are here?
There's 5 total, not counting 5
total.
plus Bob, so 5 enemy Empyreans and one friendly.
That's a bad sitcom title. 5 Empyreans and Bob,
or the best one.
Or the best one.
Yeah,
That's
everyone's
true.
a critic.
I played bass for 5 Empyreans plus Bob. I don't know.
I didn't know you were a bard too.
Yeah.
Right.
I almost played one tonight. I'm kind of glad I didn't. So I'm gonna put 3 on the Holy Empyrean, and then I'm gonna put, let's see, 2 on 1, 2. So that's math is hard, especially.
The goal is to make them all trip, right?
Yes. Well, I want to get the help action going.
How many of them do you affect total?
I have 10. Yeah, I'll do 3, and then I'll split the other ones up to the other. I
had them make dex saves with disadvantage, and they all fail. So all 5 of them are like, whoa, boom, 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 boom.
Excellent.
Boom, boom. All over themselves.
So I will take advantage of that situation.
I see what you did there. Also, I just rolled with disadvantage, and I got a 20 and a 1. That's just the roughest. That's the roughest or the best. Does either way. That's the roll that is either like
So I have Elven accuracy. On my first attack, I got a 30 to hit.
That is enough.
Excellent. And that is that's not a crit, so I'm just gonna make that a normal attack. I love D&D Beyond's dice roller, but it takes a little bit from the click to the roll.
That is true.
17 damage on him.
After this is Candle and then Alonis, by the way, so you can prepare yourselves. 17, okay.
Yep.
Again, you guys are chopping away at this guy. Like, he's clearly like bloody and beaten and bruised, but he is still on his feet.
And that is a natural 19 for me, which as a champion, that is a crit. So Smiter's gonna smite.
I appreciate everything lit up around you during the crit. It's all like, again, unlimited power.
It's happening. Yes. I love it. All right. I'm gonna use a 4th level slot.
Okay. You gonna smite him?
Yes. We are smiting. Damage incoming. I'll just give you the total because it's a lot.
All right. Excellent. Candle, you see the Darkeesian is all over this guy. Actually, he is going to take his last legendary action to try and hit you back. He also succeeds. So he is going to also put his hammer on you one more time. So give me a con save. Need to beat a 15.
Okay. My damage total is 67. Some of that is radiant. Do you care?
Actually, believe it or not, at 67, he goes to swing his hammer at you and describe to me how he dies.
Oh, so I cut him in half, and not the convenient way. It's from head down. It's a vertical slice. I just like stab and then drag back this Holy Avenger.
You just Henry Cavilled him.
Yeah. Sometimes that happens, you know.
Yes, you do in fact bifurcate him. Yes, that is true.
Okay.
Yep. It goes to swing and it's like... However, his friends take this poorly. What is your AC?
My AC is 19, but before they kill me, I want to have a cool quip and say, I guess the jury's out. And now they can attack. Go ahead.
Well played, sir. Well played.
Honestly, I think there maybe it was because of the emotional damage that you just inflicted on them, both morally and spiritually. They all missed. They all rolled like hot garbage. So the harpoons go flying wide as they all attempt, but cannot get a bead on you there.
Incredible.
Kendall, yes.
All right, so scanning the remaining Empyreans, there are still some that still look fairly injured. Is that correct?
They're really, the rest of them were fairly spry. You were more or less all focus fire on that one to get him down. The one took the full fireball. The other two saved against the fireball, and that is the only damage they've taken.
All right, then. Then I am going to also cast Fireball. And I'm going to launch it at whatever group is clustered. However, I am also going to kind of add, you see kind of like a spark hit this fireball as I fling it off, and I am using it as a heightened spell.
Okay.
So basically give me just double check on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to spend some sorcery points to give one target of the spell. So one of the Empyreans will have...
There is one that looks more injured, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that one will have a disadvantage on its first saving throw made against the spell.
All right. That one does not make it. The rest of them do. So just give me the damage when you has it. As your fireball flames and erupts around them. Alonis, your turn.
As my saber-tooth tigers are rushing towards the remaining, I'm going to pull out my short bow and shoot at the one that is more damaged.
Okay.
Than the others. Are they still prone? Or
they are still prone because they haven't had a chance to get up yet.
Perfect. So that is a 31 for the first shot.
That is enough to hit it. Yep.
A natural 20 with the second shot.
Definitely enough to hit it. 49 toasty buns. All right. That is 49 to one of them, and the others made their save. Okay.
Is 22 piercing damage from the two shots.
All right, minus 22. Do your saber-tooth tigers try and nom on him?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Okay. So they're, again, going after that same one.
Okay. All right.
It's a 5 for the first one and a 17 for the second one.
To hit?
Yes.
Neither of those are enough. As they bite and gnash at it, they bite into its metal armor and it like shakes off to get away from them. And one of them hits with its trembling strike. So everyone that is on the ground, that is basically everyone but Nasira and Vindley, give me strength checks. You need to beat a 25 or you are knocked prone.
Please do remember you all have advantage.
That is true. You do. Still need to beat a 25.
Not, right?
Not Vindley, not Nasira. You guys are far enough away down in the town. You got your own problems with the earthquake. But
well, I'm near them because I just punched one.
Oh, but aren't you flying as an air elemental?
Yes.
Yeah, then no, it's very much the earth shakes, trembling strike. All right, it is their turn. So, Nasira, you don't have any concentration spells going right now, right? Give me a dex save.
This is the beginning of next round, so I do not have advantage currently, correct?
This is midway through. This is midway through round 2. So yes, you do.
So my question still stands. Advantage
yes,
or no?
You do. Yes.
It's a dex save. That's a 9.
Do you have any rerolls?
I think we can.
Yeah, use it.
Yes, I'm going to use one.
This is
It's a very good
this
idea.
is probably an optimal time. Yes. Was it a 1?
It was a natural one. Yeah. Yeah, of course.
A-
'cause
Wait,
of course
she had I gave you bardic inspiration. It's still a natural one.
The ground is shaking and a crack opens up and you fall into it. All of you see Nasira fall down into the hole as everything is shaking and the buildings are collapsing. And one of the Empyreans looks at all of you and just says, "Vermin," and holds its hands up, and you all see the sky erupts into flames everywhere around you. And all of the buildings in the village catch on fire. And you see the orcs and the goblins and the kobolds are screaming and running because there's nowhere to go. The buildings are on fire and the earth is shaking, and they're just trying to hobble and take cover wherever they can. All of you, except Nasira, who's actually Nasira, you too, because the air is on fire. Give me dex saves. You do still have your advantage.
This is fun.
You need to beat a 23.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're like easy mode.
I'm gonna die.
Oh boy. No.
Amina passes with an exact 23. Bob fails, but uses his legendary resistance.
I mean, if not now, when, Bob? Yep.
Come on, Bob.
25.
All right, hold on a second here. This time I need a dice roller.
That's an 18 from me.
All right.
You know what's not dexterous? Air elementals.
You're like, I'm good. I'm flying. Narrator voice. You are not good. Okay.
Neither are sorcerers, apparently.
Everyone that failed takes 40 points of fire damage.
Oh.
Everyone that succeeds takes half. Anything, hold on a second here.
That was 41?
40. 40. And if you saved, it is half that. And again, everything is going terrible for the people in the village now. Like the buildings are collapsing under the earthquake and erupting into flames from the firestorm. And one of them attacks Bob. Ooh, with a natural 20. Just smashes Bob in the face with his maul for 62 points of damage. And give me a con save for Bob. One goes to hit Candle, which again, I'm sure it will hit unless you have some other form of mitigation. It will hit you for 31. Give me a con save. One goes to hit Monsoon for a natural
I've been
one.
muted
Missing.
this whole time.
Oh, have you been saying words? Sorry.
Yeah, I've been saying words. Bob got a 17 on his con save. And what was it, 31 or 61 points of damage?
He stays on his feet, and it was 62 points of damage.
I think you just rounded up.
It is 31 times 2. I'm mathing. One misses Monsoon mightily, and that is it for them. Yeah. The other two of you did get hit, as I said, and that is the end of the Empyrean's turn. Nasira, you see, give me, as you are down, trapped in this fissure, you see a rope being lowered down. And when you look up, you see a lot of the orcs have like blankets and things over their heads that are on fire and are trying to lower this rope down to you. And they're like, come on, come on.
She will grab a hold of it. I assume at this point she's kind of in one of those like parkour splits between the cracks. She's kind of like stopped herself like Stone Cold G. And
Yep.
yeah, she'll grab onto the rope.
They are trying to help you out. It is your turn, Amina. Again, literally all hell is breaking loose. The sky is on fire. The earth is quaking. Like massive fissures are breaking open. The entire village is being destroyed.
Would I know if the one that cast the earthquake dies, does the earthquake end?
You being a spellcaster would assume that probably if the caster were removed, then the effect would end, yes?
How hurt does that guy look?
He is the one that is currently being beat on, yes?
Okay. I'm gonna have Bob go over and smack him. So Bob is going to attack him for plus 17. That's a 2 and 31? I don't know. Yeah, 31.
That is enough to hit, yes. That is
And
enough, yep.
we are going to again roll 66 plus 10, 29 damage.
That hits it mightily, yes. Okay. And what is Amina doing? You say 29?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Amina would like to really look at that one and see if he looks pretty bloody. I don't know.
I mean, he's significantly beaten, yes. I mean, but he
Okay.
very much is still up and fighting.
She is going to point her finger at him.
I know where this is headed. I will give you an insight check to see if you can figure this out first.
Oh God. Where's my insight?
I know where this is headed.
That's a 19.
You don't think he's quite beat up enough yet?
Okay.
You've been fighting a long time. You've done this before. You're all like,
I failed this before. I'm not gonna do it again.
Yeah, I see. Yeah,
Okay.
you're belly breathing. You're still calm right now. I just say when it gets a little more up here, that's when I'm gonna be like, ka-chow. Yeah.
Okay. So instead, I'm going to oh God, that was my whole plan.
It's not a bad plan. It's just slightly premature.
Okay. So instead, I'm going to reach both my hands out. And by the way, I've decided I am standing on Bob's shoulder because I got up there earlier.
You're not, yeah.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to reach my hands out towards my party. Try not to get worried. Try not to turn on to problems that upset you. Don't you know everything's all right? Yes, everything's fine because I'm casting Mass Cure Wounds on you. At like 7th level.
I feel really bad about myself with all this like top level bartery taking place here. Then I'm gonna freestyle. I'm like battle rap over here. That's the kind of bard I am. I got bars. Yes.
That is the wrong spell. What the heck did I just click? Oh, I clicked mass suggestion. That is not what I'm doing on my party.
That's true. Or is it? Yeah. You're like, hey everybody, fight better.
Healing increases by 1d8 for each, so 2 extra d8, so that's 5d8 plus 4 / 5d8 plus 4. Everybody gets 26 points back.
You all heal back 26 points. Yes, it will hurt less now. Nasira, I will say with your movement, with the orc's help, you can be up out of the fissure and then still act normally.
Apparently my dog doesn't like Andrew Lloyd Webber. What a critic. Okay.
It's because he wrote Cats. So yes, Nasira, you can use your movement to get up out of the fissure with the help of the orcs and their rope, and then still act as you would at the top of the next round. You are muted.
Is it my turn now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Let's see. How many of these bad guys are left up there?
4.
There's still 4 of them. Okay. I, against all of my better judgment, would like to cast Otto's Irresistible Dance on all of them.
All right. What do they need to beat?
Everything. A Wisdom 19. Going to be very hard for them to attack when they're dancing themselves to death. That's all I'm trying to say. My logic is sound.
Very sound. Unfortunately, they all made it.
Of course they did. She will continue to head closer to them and get closer to the rest of the group. hopefully to be able to get within melee range of them.
If you since you had to use some of your movement to get out of the fissure, I would say if you use your other movement now, next round you'll be close enough to melee with them. You also see in the village, like the people are starting to flee, especially once you get out of the hole. You see they're like running out of the village, kind of in all directions. Again, as the earth is shaking and the sky is on fire. And like it's all collapsing. The walls are collapsing. Like everything is falling in on itself.
Well, hopefully they know the safe place to run to.
They at least know where it's not safe to stay. Yes. Vindley, your turn.
Looking around, I'm gonna decide that I've had just about enough of this baloney, and I am going to cast shape change on myself, and I'm going to turn into a brass dragon. With the air being on fire, I feel like that's a good way to handle that. I get a few more hit points, stuff like that.
Yep, absolutely. You change.
Unfortunately, that is my whole action, and I can't do anything else cool until it is my turn again. But for now, I feel pretty solid about my skill sets.
That definitely counts, though, as you like there, and they all stop and turn and look at you when you appear. It is Monsoon, and then Candle and Darkeesian again.
Well, as it's
we have 5 total rerolls on the board right now, by the way. So don't be stingy with them. 5 total rerolls.
Sounds good.
Thank you all, by the way.
It appears that we've fallen into a Led Zeppelin album cover.
It's definitely a heavy metal magazine for sure, especially when you like account for the tiefling. It's 100%.
No, it's pretty sweet. So there's one of these things down, right? One did go down.
1 has been destroyed. 4 are still fighting. Yeah.
I'm gonna fly down and pick up its maul and swing it.
It is there. You can do it.
Okay, I have a belt of storm giant strength, so I have 29 strength. I think I can handle it. So I'm gonna smack one. I don't know anything about it, but I know
it doesn't look like you would, but you kind of just like choke up on it and
yeah. Here we go.
It's very well balanced.
Well, I got
for being the size of a tree trunk.
I got a more than 30 on the.
That is enough to hit. Yep.
And I don't know what it does for damage, so you're gonna have to.
It does 6d6 plus your strength.
Oof, that is why it hurts so much. That makes sense.
That is why it hurts so much. Yep. Is that it for Monsoon, by the way?
That is.
Okay. All right.
Actually, well, I have a second attack. I probably can. Yeah, I'm a paladin. I should be able to.
You absolutely can attack twice with it.
Then that is going to be a 17. Does that hit?
That is not enough. You're kind of like, boom. And, hang on the weight, though. Ooh, got to choke up on it a little bit. You weren't expecting the follow through there.
I made it look like that wasn't actually an attack. That was just kind of like I was just swinging it just to get the heft of it. But the first attack was an attack for 30 points of damage.
Yeah, very much just trying to figure out how it works. Yeah, 100%. Like you meant to do that.
Yeah, right, totally.
No, it still looks super cool though. You very, very Ito from Battle Angel with the rocket hammer. Yep. Okay.
30 on the first one.
Whoops. Perfect. Okay. After that, it is going to be again Candle and Darkeesian simultaneously. And this dude looks pretty good beat up.
So I'm going to. Do you mind if I take it again? Mike?
No, you go for it.
All right. So I'm going to have my 10 ball bearings do the help action. So the next attacks will all have advantage. I'm going to put 4 on the most wounded looking one, and then 2 on the other 3 that are remaining.
All right. They do very much still kind of look spaghetti legged on their feet there, and you all will have advantage against them.
And then I'm just going to start swinging at this wounded looking one to see if I can get where I need to get. Come on, die roller. I believe in you so much. I love it, but I'm also like, it's beta, so.
It is a new feature, but yes, I maintain it rolls hot. Yep.
It does. It does seem to roll hot. I've rolled more crits here than I think I would ever roll naturally.
Definitely.
All right, so I got a 32 to hit on my first attack.
That is enough to hit it.
And with that, we are talking about 23 points of magical slashing.
All right. Is that it, or you?
I got another swing.
Okay.
And potentially an action surge, depending on how things go. I got a 30 to hit.
That is enough.
Out of those, elven accuracy, it's a hell of a drug.
Indeed, it is.
That's another 13 points of damage. How's he looking?
Spaghetti legged.
Okay. You know, I'm just gonna action surge. If not now, when? Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we
Questions
got
that keep me
a
up
few
at
more
night.
attacks.
It's true.
Say what?
So if not now, when is a question that keeps me up at night.
It's my gift to you.
Fair.
Yeah, I'm here to tell you that it's now. I'm telling you that it's now. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And ooh, yes, there it is. That's that natural 20.
Okay.
So many. If you throw enough d20s, eventually you're gonna roll hot again.
That is true.
Okay, you know what? I have to smite. It's gonna happen.
I mean, you didn't make it like this. The dice made it like this.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I am going to both use a 3rd level slot to Paladin Smite and a 5th level Warlock slot to Eldritch Strike or Smite or whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of dice.
Mm-hmm. Roll that and then tell me when you have it.
Okay, it's a lot.
Candle?
So once again, I am going to use my arcane finger guns, and I'm going to cast Disintegrate, this time at 8th level. And this time it'll be another heightened spell, and it'll be aimed right at the. You know what? I can't be a kill stealer. I can't be that player.
I feel like he's like its head is just
right. Or can I? Yeah, I can. Sure. Actually, wait.
In the strictest technical sense, although he's giving me the number, it would all hit simultaneously. But it's up to you whether or not you want to lay it on or spread it out.
Well,
there are 4 of them.
Yeah.
One of them, again, is looking significantly beaten. It may be that if you lay this on a second one, you might be able to get it down enough for Armina to literally work her magic on it.
Yeah,
Dave, I got 87 points of damage on that guy.
He is hating life right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch to a healthier target.
Yeah. No, he has like it has been driven down to one knee. It is holding on to its stomach as it is bleeding profusely, but still very much looks resolved to keep fighting till the last second. And yes, you switch to the next one.
Yeah, I'll switch to a healthier one.
Yeah, it is very close to the end of its life.
Okay. So it'll need a dex save of 19.
It does not. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that's even better. Never mind if it's disadvantage or not. Yep. So it takes 102 points of force damage.
Again, it punches a hole clean through it. But it is still on its feet.
These things are really built Ford tough.
Math here. Got it. Sorry. This is session 3 of the day, y'all. My math abilities are failing. Yes. Okay.
And as a bonus action, I'm going to tap my staff against the kind of the ground, and I'm going to activate a charge and cast Mage Armor.
All right. Just for the record, chat says steal the kill, by the way. Like, they're merciless. Merciless, they're like these
monsters.
They're like, these Empyreans have it coming. Kill them all. Yes. Okay. The Empyreans are like, but we're the good guys. Why are you booing me? I'm right. Your mage armor, was that it for you?
Yeah, that's it.
Alanis, again, there is one that is substantively beaten. You feel a strong wind might drop it. There is another one that were you to damage it at least a little, Amina could do what she does. Although I guess theoretically Amina's got Bob for an assist. So and you have 2 others that are still looking fairly spry.
So I'm going to pull out my short sword and my rapier and go after the one that Candle just tried to disintegrate.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna keep my saber-tooth tigers on the other super damaged one.
Okay.
So I'm gonna rush the disintegrated one, and I still get advantage on this, correct?
Yes, because it hasn't had a chance to get back to its feet yet.
Right. Okay. So that would be a natural 20.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I should get that dice roller.
Yeah, it's pretty
Telling
great.
you, they're making it worth their while right now. I don't know if it's gonna be the same in like a month, but they're all like, again.
You got to get the good beta reviews.
Yeah, 2 and 20.
This thing's great. I love
2
it.
and 20.
I use
Yeah.
it all the time. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So they will get 17 damage from that, and then an additional 10 necrotic from my rapier of life stealing.
As you stab it, it like looks down at you and grits its teeth, and then it just kind of goes, "Ugh!" And you see the black lines move up over its face. It's like, boom! It hits the ground.
Perfect.
It had exactly 17 hit points.
Boom.
Yep.
So then I'll have my saber-tooth tigers attempt to get the other one.
To nom on the other one. All right. Yeah. Roll it.
That is a 22 for the first bite, and then a 7 for the second bite.
22. That is just enough to hit it. Yep.
And that'll be 14 piercing damage.
14. When the saber-toothed tiger sinks its teeth into it and it grunts, Amina, on a spiritual level, you're like, that's the song I was waiting for. you were like, oh, hark, hark. What was this? It's like
perfect sound.
Literally playing your song. Yes. It is, however, their turn now. Of the 3 remaining ones, all of you give me
Are you counting Bob in the 3 remaining ones?
No.
Okay.
In another dex save.
This is magic.
This is magic. Fire magic.
21.
If anyone's within 10 feet of me, by the way, you have advantage on spells and magic effect saves.
Yes, you need to beat a 23.
I am going to roll some bardic inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Do I get I get a D10, right? Does that count towards any of these rolls from
yeah, you only can use it once, but you have
right.
it. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I might
said we had to beat a 23, right?
To beat a 23.
Can I use one of our rerolls then?
You absolutely can. Again, now, if not now, when? Like, feel free. I'll smoke them if you got them.
That's Amina, a 24.
Yeah, Amina got a 24. Bob failed again. Bob is not very dexterous.
He is not, but Bob still has some of his legendary resistances.
Bob's just going to say, meh, I got one more. He just resists it.
And
anybody?
Nasira's I've passed as well. Thank you for your inspiration.
You just hear her voice echoing, her melodic, angelic voice echoing through your cranium as you're like, move slightly faster. So like sink down into it. Use the glutes. Right, dragon glutes.
Yeah.
Bob and weave.
It's true. Although you're a brass dragon, does that some of the fire resistance transfer over in your form from the shape change or no?
I am immune to fire.
Oh, then this is a fire effect. You're good.
Okay, I'll just hang out.
Yeah, you can take back your bardic inspiration because you're all like, wait.
I forgot I turned into a brass dragon. Silly
You're
me.
like, I forgot I'm a dragon. Oh yeah, you're like, no, it got me. Oh, it didn't get me. Those of you that did not beat 23, it is 40 points of damage. Those of you that beat it, it is 20 points of fire damage. One of them goes. They do go back on the attack. One of them attacks Darkesian. One of them attacks Elonis for 31 each. And both of you give me con saves. Again, these things fight like lions to the very last second because they are fighting for the cause of justice. Con, you need to beat 15 or be stunned.
16. Yes.
Hey. And it is your turn, Amina, as these things are smashing and ripping and the earth is still quaking and the village is destroyed like it's rubble.
Good.
I'm good, Dave.
Actually, I take that back. The one he killed was maintaining the earthquake. So the earthquake does stop, but the village was largely pulped to begin with. The earth does stop shaking.
That was already a problem. A problem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Amina, I'm gonna see how quietly I can do this considering it's 11:38 at night here. Amina is going to stand up on Bob's shoulder and dust herself off. And she's going to look at the one who's looking shaky.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to say very sweetly with a smile on her face, Lassù in cielo vicino a sua madre muori. And she's going to use power word kill as she points her finger at them.
You see just like its eyes kind of fill up with tears as it listens to you, and then it just goes like, and drops to its knees and looks at you confused, and then just straight down to the ground.
You tore my cloak. She's petty.
The remaining two
Bob hasn't gone yet.
Oh, Bob hasn't gone yet. Yes, go Bob.
Bob's gonna stand up, and is there one in 25 feet of him?
Oh yeah, they both are.
Okay, Bob's gonna go smash one of them right in the face.
Okay, Bob's gonna go bobbing.
Bob's gonna go bobbing, and that's gonna be a 23 to hit.
That is enough.
That's going to be 66 plus 10. I should just have a macro for this.
The average is 31 if you're wondering.
28.
See? Math has failed you.
Yeah, he's gonna do 28 and give me the con save on that one.
It needs to be the 30. Well,
15.
Yes. Oh, I'm all like, it does make the con save.
Okay.
Also, that one had 91 when you power word killed it. So, GG.
Yes, thanks. And then I'm gonna use an extra attack as a legendary action.
He's a mean boy.
He's a mean boy.
Bob, we're supposed to be friends. So why are you like?
Oh my God, that's a 24 to hit.
No, that is enough to hit it. Yep.
I'm gonna try my luck again. 30.
Hey, there you go. Props to you for hitting the average. Okay. So we roll enough dice, we're going to get there statistically speaking eventually, right?
It's true. It's true.
The two of them that are still there are looking around, and they look at the ruins of the village and their dead friends, and Bob standing over them with the maul, and they just sort of smile through bloody teeth and are like, our work is done. And they both disappear. Plane shift.
Are we out of turn order?
You are.
Okay.
Bob just sort of looks.
I was so close. I wanted to hit one.
You're going to jump, Bob?
I just wanted to hit one.
He wants to hit one in the face.
But you saved a lot of children. That counts. They super would have died.
He saved the children.
I'm a tiefling. I wanted to hit something.
You know what? Since you sublimated your desire to hit things to try and do a good deed, I'm going to tell you that here, while they both go to vanish, you see they reappear you see one of the old bugbears is standing out there wearing old tattered wizard robes, holding his hands up.
Oh,
It is like, get him, girl!
Kick his ass.
Which one looks the worst off?
They look about the same.
Well, I'm going to hit one of them with an 8th level banishing smite with my sword and hopefully blast him into another plane.
Okay, so Hazaron, when you draw him, is like, oh, good. I want to cut his heart out with a spoon.
Me too.
Yep. Go to
But
him.
why a
But I'm
spoon?
using
Oh,
you
great
instead.
mall.
So there we
wait,
go.
What? Sorry, Nasira, what?
I said, but I'm using you instead. So there we
True.
go.
It's because it's dull, you twit. It'll more. Yes.
Yeah.
Roll it.
All right. I'm rolling the attack or the damage.
You got to see if you hit him first.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to be clear. And this is plus that's 30.
That is enough to hit him. Let me see here. Let me just read this real quick to make sure. So you hit with your sword. Okay. So Hazaron is quite a weapon. So you are going to roll. Actually, hang on. Let me just double check something here. Great. Okay. So technically, you again, as a high-level Valor Bard and Battle Mage, can hit with the sword and hit again with your Banishing Smite. So because you need him to be beneath a certain number of hit points to blast him out of existence. So
That's why I asked which one was looking rougher.
Yeah, no, they're the same. So you have your one attack that would hit, and then roll to see if you hit him with the second attack.
Floor dice don't count.
Floor dice do not count.
19 plus 17.
That is enough to hit him. So the first hit is 2d6 plus 2d6 plus 11 for Hazaran by himself, because he is a terrible blade.
You see now why I was so upset I didn't get to hit nothing. This would have been the second full game I got through without getting to use him.
You chose not to use him. The first chose, man.
I'm a bard. I'm supposed to solve things politically first. It's
True.
not my fault everybody seems to be agreeable these days.
Crap.
My bard does plenty of violence. That is true.
That is 13 plus 11, 24.
Okay. And then for your second one, it is 26 plus 2d6 plus 2d6 plus 5d10 plus 11 for the Banishing Smite.
Yes. Okay. 20.
It's true.
30. 46.
It's true.
50. 50.
You see this and turns and looks at you again, and you're like, you see like a portal opens up and it literally gets blasted off the prime material plane. And the other one standing there just drops its hammer. It's like, parlay.
I do hold Hazaron towards him, and I go, yes, we can talk now, but you stay right there and don't move, and you will answer all of my friend's questions.
Oh, do let me kill him.
You just got one.
But there were 6. They're so pretentious.
You're making it very hard to defend you.
Or I'm making it hard to defend him. You all see this beaten Empyrean is standing there with its hands up. It's like, I tried to depart from my home plane of Celestia and was rudely called back. And you see the bugbear is like slowly making her way up the mountain. What would you all like to do?
What grievances did you have with these people?
I told you, they were evil. Their very existence is a blight on the plane.
Well, Bob told them that.
Some would say your very
Bob,
existence here is a blight upon this plane.
He looks around and he's like, I've done what I've done in the service of good. Look, their settlement is destroyed. Their people are scattered. My brothers have died glorious deaths. A good day all around, wouldn't you say?
The service of good.
Yes.
There you and I disagree.
His eyes very much fall back down towards the hammer, but just look at you still with his hands up.
Yeah, Darkassian is just kind of like leaning on his Holy Avenger and considering what to do next as he looks at his compatriots.
Hazaran, you hear Hazaran in your mind, Nasira. Do it. They want you to do it.
Okay.
Does anyone say anything?
Amina's focused on Bob. She's got to deal with Bob somehow, but she's looking over to kind of see what's going on because she heard the conversation, but she's not going to stop anybody.
You heard it all. Also, I mean, it's true that you do have him for a time longer, which you're aware of, but you're also aware you can send him back to his plane at any time.
Yeah, just have him plane shift out of here. That's a tomorrow problem at that point.
The only thing that Amina would say, she's going to have Bob walk over to the conversation carrying her in his hand. She's just standing in his hand at this point.
And he just looks very cheerful. He's like, yes, hello.
And I will totally admit to borrowing this. Some of the most terrible things in the world are done by people who genuinely think they're doing it for the right reasons and that they're the good ones. Did you know that?
It looks at you and it says, of course, that is why you otherwise decent mortals raised hands against us. I don't fault you for your ignorance.
I'm talking about you. You're not good. You can say you're good, but all you're doing is perverting the definition of the term. Good people don't murder innocent. They don't. They don't say they're evil just because they exist, or that you're good just because you exist. You're not good. And she just turns away and looks back at, and concentrates back on Bob.
I land in my giant dragon form, waiting for somebody to tell me to kill them, or whatever they want me to do.
I think answering violence with violence is probably the wrong decision here.
Yeah, that's not honorable. It's not
gonna pull the sandwich out of my pocket. We can share a sandwich instead and offer it to the lone guy standing.
It does reach down and take it and is like,
it's a good sandwich.
And you see the old bugbear has gotten close now. And she's like burned and singed and like filthy.
I'd like to step forward beside, forgive me, beside Nasira and Messira, sorry, reading. And I'll look up the Empyrean and ask, have you learned anything here today from what has happened?
And it takes another bite of the sandwich and it's like, mortals are fickle, changeable things. One moment we're in battle, the next moment we're breaking bread. Curious.
So that being said, you will go back to your plane of existence. And then what? Will you come back at some other point in time and realize to yourself, gosh, I certainly do want to cleanse this world of whatever abstract view I have on evil. I just wish to eradicate it, to feel good about myself, make myself feel tall.
Oh, friend, there's nothing abstract about it. Yes, of course I would come back and do it again. Were they to rebuild, I'd break them myself.
Oh, we're gonna have to kill him. She leans over and
Amina
says,
just turns around and
closest to
looks.
her.
Yeah, she turns around and looks at crap, Masira? Oh, I'm gonna mess it up. Yeah, Masira. Haha, yay. And she just looks right at her and says, do it.
Do it.
Do you
Shall
want
we
to
do it
do
together?
I can
Do
banish him
it.
completely, but I would hate to deny the dragon a chomp if you really want to.
Oh, she did. She did turn
Dragon
into a
chomp.
dragon too. Yeah, no,
I
no,
mean,
yeah. Oh,
yeah,
you should. Oh, yeah,
should
no.
chomp.
It
She
probably
should
took
get a
lot
little
out of
nom,
her.
just a little nom.
Yeah,
Little
yeah.
nom.
No, do
Yeah.
yeah.
You've been
Bite
good,
his head
dragon.
off.
You get noms.
Just not one of the fiddly bits, because that's probably not going to taste very good. Just go for the head.
All right. I
When
speak
they all
common. I'm
say
like,
that-
all right.
Vindley, that's true. You're like, okay, Vindley, you feel this old bugbear just like walks up and she looks at you and she just puts her hand on your arm and you feel haste flow through you.
Amazing.
and she just looks at him and doesn't say anything.
Awesome. Well, so I get 3 attacks to begin with. We'll start with those and see how it goes. So
How many
He
jobs
turns
does it
and
take?
looks at you and he's like, yes, I understand mortals from your limited perspective. You
delicious.
yeah. No, the bronze dragon promptly proceeds to savagely rip this dude up. He stops monologuing after a minute. And Bob,
Perfect.
sitting there holding you, goes, brutal.
Fatality, even.
Just so.
Okay,
Fatality.
Mike, you wrote it in chat. Now you have to sing it. Do it.
No, you see, I'm a musician. We make other things of wood and metal make the noises for us.
First of all, sorry, your voice is like velvet. Get out of here with that. No,
First of all-
it's like listening to butter. No,
First of all, pet peeve, singers are musicians too.
No, you are. No,
I'm
you
just
are.
kidding, I'm
But I'm
just
saying like I'm not a vocalist because that
You
is
know
a
what?
that is a art form. I'm just a
Bailey,
musician.
Bailey, should together?
Oh, I am excited to try this and also terrified of lag. So mark me
Do
down for
it.
scared and happy.
Okay,
Sure.
ready?
You know what?
Let's do one.
I'll say 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, because
Wait,
every
which
time we've
one
tried
are we
to sing
doing?
"Happy Birthday,"
We're
it's a
just
train wreck.
doing the one the one that Mike wrote. Just the one line. It's fine.
Yeah, can we repost it? God, wait, you got it? Because I know you were having trouble. Are we ready?
I
you
can't
good?
see chat. I don't know what we're singing.
Yeah,
All
she
right,
can't
hold
see
on.
chat.
Wait. Hang on. Wait. We're gonna jank this.
Hold on.
Wait,
Wait. Hold on. I'm gonna put it in the Twitter message to you.
Yes.
Okay.
Do that.
Oh,
This is worth it,
Hey.
internet. This is worth it.
That was the wrong. That's a quote. That's not exactly at all what that was.
Don't sing that. Don't sing that.
Don't
know,
sing. I mean, you
now-
could sing that.
I'm just stalling. First of all, thank you, internet. We're not done after this. There's an epilogue because there was a whole trial that this whole thing was. But no, this is literally just me stalling while we're coordinating
Got
our
it?
musical number. Again, every time we try to sing "Happy Birthday" via Skype, absolute train wreck. So these wonderful, accomplished, brilliant singers are going to try and do a thing, and if that thing doesn't work, it's the technology's fault, not theirs. Okay.
Exactly.
How about you get the first half, I'll get the last half.
Of the line.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll sing it once and then you sing it once. How about we just do it that way?
Yes.
Okay,
We'll do
got
a round.
it.
We'll do it live.
Ready,
Yeah,
ready,
and then
Dave, go.
If you guys aren't trying to synchronize, I'll let you count it yourself. I'll let you do
No,
it.
you count. You're the DM.
Okay, I'm at 3, 2, 1, and then go. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Dragon chomp doo 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 doo.
Dragon chomp doo 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 doo.
Dragon chomp doo 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 doo.
Dragon chomp.
Hey,
That's gonna be in my head
we
forever.
summoned the cat with it there. There you go. That's it. That was our gift to you. Speaking of our gift to you, when you see this thing die with great satisfaction, by the way, Vindley, as you crush into it with your dragon power, you all hear from nowhere in particular, and you all are back in that platinum place.
Oh,
And,
did the thing I wrote to you, did I get to finish?
was there a thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, that happened.
Yeah. Amina cast Modify Memory on Bob at 8th level.
So he doesn't come looking for revenge?
No,
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
He cast Modify Memory on him that these people are his best friends and their village just got destroyed and he needs to rebuild it.
Oh, that he's there to help his homies. Okay, yes, you just Iron Gianted him. Yay. She did send that in chat. I didn't notice. So there you go. Perfect. Yes. Yeah, because otherwise they were going to have to move. Yes. You all reappear there, and the construct says, "The trial is concluded. I am prepared to render the verdict." As you look down, you are all healed. You're completely restored. The damage you took, your spell levels are restored. All of that. You do not have your magic items. Again, you are unarmed while you are in this place.
Is my
but you are
cape
healed.
fixed?
You don't know. It's not on. And Hazaran is not here. Right before you're at the last second, you're like, "Yay, we won!" Oh,
You know, sometimes the quiet's nice. Sometimes a little break.
I could probably remove or fix it maybe for you if you're, unless you like it talking to you. Just a thought for.
You know, I've grown quite fond of him. Sometimes it's good to have a secondary opinion.
I respect that. Just, be safe.
The woman in black comes forward, and again, she takes another fingerful of the pudding. She's like, I suppose you all succeeded. I guess that's good. I guess. Is that good? And the construct is like, "It is in keeping with the terms of the trial." And when he says that, she just looks up and goes, "Okay, well, I guess let's show him. I was getting tired of this anyway." Also, you there for Bolg, Vindley, excellent work out there. Although, if I could make a suggestion, maybe try something a little more like this. And she begins to grow and change into a 5-headed dragon right in front of you.
Wow, cool.
And her wings extend outwards, and all 5 heads come around and look at you.
Hashtag Tiamat ate my pudding.
Not everyone can say that. The suited man, that's it. That's what she
Does
turns
it look
into.
like this dragon?
It looks just like that dragon. But
very
slightly
good.
less bitey. The suited man just sort of takes a deep breath and begins to change into a gargantuan, spectacular platinum dragon. He is one of the most beautiful things you've ever looked upon. And he just sort of sits there looking regal. And the third one in the gray robe just goes, and turns into a jet black dragon that is made as much out of like darkness and mist and shadow as the rest of them, and says, yes, you see, sister, you see, brother, for once it is I who am victorious. And Tiamat looks at you all, and her blue head is like, yes, whatever. This whole thing was stupid anyway. And Bahamut looks at her and is like, it was your idea, Tiamat. And she looks at you all and says, okay, mortals, listen. We've been at this for centuries. We go to war, we kill each other, we come back, we get imprisoned, we disrupt whole planes. I thought I'd try something different. I thought I'd try the legal system this time, pointing over at the construct. And I just thought maybe if we left it in the hands of mortals, like it would work out a little differently this time. But my stupid little brother Null got in on it, and apparently, I guess it worked out for him. And the Marut says, Yes, you all passed through the gray door. You all were champions of Null. You availed yourself in a heroic way and did the right thing in a morally gray situation. And Null just says, morally gray. Mortals. And he looks like everything starts to turn black in here. And you see Bahamut just like looks around and he just kind of looks disappointed. He's like, I thank you, mortals. I smile upon you, mortals, and I give you 2 gifts, the greatest I can bestow. I bless you with life for as long as you wish to live it. And I bless you with godhood. And he raises all of you to level 21 and turns around and says, now all will know my name. They will forget Tiamat. They will forget Bahamut. And the time of Null is at hand. And he vanishes. And that is a good place for us to stop.
Who was that again?
That is true. They have a third brother. Ooh. Everybody forgets about
no, I mean that would just be blatantly what Amina says. Like,
yep.
Who's that guy?
You very much see Tiamat is like, he's stupid anyway, but hey, you little tiefling cutie. And you, the dragon.
I think his name was Bill.
Okay.
She leans down and 2 of her heads lean down and look at both of you. And she's like, so if you godlings aren't busy later, maybe you could And
I mean,
Bahamut is just like,
you cannot trust somebody who steals pudding.
You're welcome to stay and eat your fill, mortals. And he just like turns on us, he like storms off, very visibly upset.
Get out of here with your Benny Hinn suit. Anyway.
That is where we will end. Yes.
Amazing.
So thank you all. Yes.
You just made 3 bards gods. This is a problem.
I said what I said, okay? And I did what I did. Yes.
To be fair, the bards were already gods. He just made the stats work.
It's true.
It's true. Gods of Rock. Yes. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for donating. I know it is very late many places, so thank you. Oh yes, we've been snaggerjacked.
How many echoes?
Is that Null now? Yes, somebody does have an open mic.
Yeah, somebody has their somebody's getting an echo back. So this was a fantastic game, a fantastic way to end the stream.
Wait, hang on, I don't want to interrupt, but all of y'all mute. We're having a moment and it's crazy.
I'm
so
catching
everybody
it.
mute. That's the only way we'll know. Everyone mute.
There we go. All right. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, all of you. This was a fantastic game to just sit here and be a part of. We were keeping busy in the chat with game-related stuff and giving away things as we hit some incredible goals. I want you all to know that you helped us to cross the goal of, or rather, continue surpassing the goal at $17,246.80. We gave away a lot of really cool things. We've got a couple of sponsors, including the sponsor of tonight's game, Role Play Lead, that have been putting some tremendous offers in the chat and are keeping things going. So at the end of day 4, all of you have helped us to continue to move past our goal that we initially set of $15,000. And guess what? It is not over. Tomorrow is the last day of Jasper's game week. We've got Matt from Impact RPG is going to be running a game. Greg Tito was one of the players in that game, along with CJ from Action Shield, Latia Bryant. Following that, in our 2 o'clock Eastern time slot, we've got Stefan Picorni from Dwarven Forge running a first edition AD&D game. And one of the players in that game is none other than Alex Gygax. We also have in our 5 o'clock time slot, we have Satine Phoenix running a game with our own Fenway the Teen DM, David Blue, Jason Charles Miller, and Jim Zub. And that is leading into, I have to follow that. I'm following all of those games. I will be DMing the 8 to 12 slot, closing out the stream with my usual Dawnbringers that sit in that spot. We are running a game that is one of my own design that is basically called a Magical Miracle Beard Oil. It is a Western setting with a snake oil salesman who is selling a beard oil that may or may not be made from the runoff from an old wizard's tower. Nothing could go wrong. So you're going to want to tune in tomorrow night or tomorrow all day for the last day of Jasper's Game Day to keep this total going. Thank you, B. Dave Walters, and your entire crew of gamers. All of you have been absolutely incredible. And I would just like to say a special thank you to chat and all of our moderators in chat. Everybody just helping and volunteering with this. You are all incredible and have helped us to get to where we are now, so far past our goal. Please join us tomorrow at noon Eastern for another 12 hours of Jasper's Game Week. We will see you there.
I have one tiny thing to say before we sign off. I said something dope was going to happen at 17,000. That was why they all became gods, by the way. Because otherwise Null was going to eat them because Null doesn't care. So you saved all of their lives.
You saved their lives.
And made them gods. So I just wanted to say that one little addendum there, one little footnote in case you were like, what happened?
And it totally won't go to their heads.
It's fine. You know what? May was right, and I just want the internet to know that I'm the one that made them gods. So when we have to hear about it forever,
I feel like Kelly knew I was looking at her when I said that.
I will just add it to the list of my titles.
I did it for the children. All
right, and with that, we are going to close out day 4 of Jasper's Game Week.